What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories. 5RG1018 Intergate's 7th Gate, Day Tiger. Well, try conquers. Chen Mu stares at the oncoming Kong, armed fists wrapped in color, and conquers hockey. His conquerors has reached the 4th level, and now he can test his power. After the words fell, Chen Mu took the initiative to attack Kong. The bodies of the two were like afterimages, and before people noticed, their fists collided together. Boom! A loud noise came, and from the center of the two people, a terrifying momentum quickly spread to the surroundings. Chen Mu conquerors directly enveloped half of the Valley of the Gods, covering the entire battlefield. Boom boom boom. In the next second, the pirates and marines who were fighting in the 100-meter area fell directly to the ground. Kong felt the power transmitted from Chen Mu's body, and instantly broke out in cold sweat. How is it possible? Kong's eyes widened, and he looked at Chen Mu who was fighting with him in disbelief. Kong knows that the conquerors that Chen Mu has now is completely top-notch in the world. But when we fought against Zephyr just now, Chen Mu's conquerors has not reached this level yet. How long has it been? Chen Mu's conquerors has transformed again. What kind of monster is this? 573 Rocks, who was fighting, felt this conquerors. He was taken aback for a while, then laughed and praised. Ha ha ha. Your conquerors has become even more amazing, Chen Mu. Chen Mu. Marshal Marine and Marine Vice Admiral Garp, who were fighting the rocks, couldn't help but glanced in Chen Mu's direction. After being awed by Chen Mu conqueror's power, in the entire battlefield, Marines with positions below the naval headquarters colonel almost all fainted. And Rock's pirate interns, and the pirates that Rock's pirate has recruited in New World in recent years. More than 95% of the pirates were stunned by this force. The entire Valley of the Gods, Rocks, Velcro, Roger, Rayleigh, Jabba, Golden Lion, Charlotte Linlin, Whitebeard, Sengoku, Kaido, Crane, Mog, John, Silver Axe, and Ochaku all focused on Chen Mu's body. Chen Mu's conquerors become stronger. This monster, our marine. Can we really defeat it? Steel. Can Kong Admiral defeat Chen, wood? Many marines stared at Kong and Chen Mu who were fighting. At this time, doubts arose in their hearts. Can their Admiral Kong from naval headquarters really defeat Chen Mu, an inhuman monster? Boom. Chen Mu and Kong exchanged fists, and then their bodies moved backwards at the same time. Chen Mu's body moved back 20 meters, while Kong moved 10 meters. After all, it is Marine Admiral, it is still difficult to defeat Chen Mu without using the special energy obtained from 10,000 realms. Kong colored to the extreme, staring at Ben, took a breath and said, "You bastard." Kong couldn't describe his shocking mood at this moment. Even if someone says that Chen Mu is from outer space, Kong will believe it without hesitation. Chen Mu looked at Kong who was still in shock, spread his hands and said calmly, "Good luck, I don't know why Conquerors has reached the strongest, just test it a little, don't be nervous Kong." Hearing Chen Mu's words, Kong now has the urge to vomit blood. Lucky? Good luck getting your conquerors to this top level? You evil ghost, you shouldn't exist in this world more than Rocks, Kong said with a serious look on his face, fists clenched. Although Rocks is the strongest pirate in the world today, in front of Chen Mu's talent, even Rocks is not enough. Chen Mu shrugged and didn't express anything. Kong was right, he really wasn't from this world. Instead, it came from a distant blue star. Your sinful life, let me end today. Kong's arms were wrapped with armed colors and conquerors, and he attacked Chen Shu again. Well, I don't think you can do it. 8 inner gates, 1st gate, open, open. 8 inner gates, 4th gate, inner gate, open. 8 inner gates, 7th gate, Starling gate, open. In one breath, Chen Mu opened the 8 inner gates to the 2nd gate. Chen Mu opened the door Dunjia to the 7th gate this month, and this is the first time to use it and fight with people. After opening the 7th gate, blue steam visible to the naked eye appeared all over Chen Mu's body, and his aura changed completely, just like a true god. Boom. The two clashed fiercely again. The impact of the battle between the two is almost no less than that of Rocks, Marine Marshal and Marine Vice Admiral Garp. Open 8 inner gates after 7th gate. In the battle between Chen Mu and Kong, he even has a slight upper hand. Bang bang bang. The fists of the two collided countless times like machine guns. This is pure flesh and the children between body skills. The momentum created can be imagined. The area with a radius of almost 100 meters is a battlefield for two people. Almost no one dared to approach the two of them. Seen from a distance, the aura of the two of them is like two prehistoric beasts colliding. Day Tiger. Chen Mu used all his strength to compress the surrounding air, and then he punched out to spread the air. Then an air cannon in the shape of a huge white tiger was formed. Roar. The white tiger roared, and then rushed towards Kong at an extremely fast speed, opened its blood-spouting mouth and swallowed Kong whole. This scene directly shocked the Marines and pirates who were fighting around. Then. What is that? Then. Is that a white tiger? Is it the ability released by Chen Mu? Damn, this guy is not a monster, but a demon. Boom. Everyone saw that the white tiger directly swallowed Kong and entered, and then there was a loud noise. Then a mushroom cloud rose, as well as yellow sand all over the sky. As the smoke and dust in the sky slowly dissipated, I saw that at the position where Kong was just now, a large pit with a radius of more than 10 meters and a depth of several meters appeared directly. Steel Kong Admiral. It fell with the exclamation of a marine soldier. I saw Kong wrapped around the top armament hockey and jumped out of the big pit. 102 wood style true several thousand hands, but, as you can see, even Kong is wrapped around armament hockey all over his body. But he still has many injuries, blood is flowing down his body. It seemed that he was panting slightly with a distressed expression. Steel Kong Admiral, unexpectedly, has been severely injured. Lien Kong Admiral, isn't also Chen Mu's opponent? If so, how can we win this battle? Chen Mu and rocks are simply invincible. Seeing this scene, countless Marines instantly felt hopeless. Chen Mu's combat power is completely beyond their imagination, and can even severely damage the Marine general. Are you okay, Kong? Garp looked worriedly in Kong's direction while fighting rocks. Kong took a deep breath and said in a deep voice, "Don't worry about me, Garp, face your opponent well." Seeing that Kong was still alive and kicking, Chen Mu spread his arms and said helplessly, "After all, it is still the naval headquarters with the highest combat power, and it really is not so easy to defeat. Day Tiger is the strongest move after opening the 7th gate of 8 inner gates." But it was such an ultimate move, which only caused Kong a flesh wound. It didn't hurt Kong's internal organs, so it can't be regarded as a serious injury to Kong. Fighting against Kong, Chen Mu really understood what is the real top combat power. Although Chen Mu's current strength is infinitely close to that of Admiral, the gap is still a little hard to bridge. Although Kong was covered in blood, his aura remained undiminished, and he said solemnly, "As a Marine, today, I will bet my life on getting rid of you, Chen Mu." Marine Marshal Velcro, when he fought rocks, had already prepared to risk his life. Then he naturally needs to have such awareness, because he knew that if he didn't bear such a consciousness, there is no chance at all to defeat the monster Chen Mu. Changing lives with Chen Mu, to rid the sea of a terrible disaster, Kong thinks it's worth it. Life is very precious, don't say it so cheaply. Are you afraid of Chen Mu? Don't dare to risk your life? Kong sneered. Chen Mu shook his head slightly and said calmly, "No, what I mean is that you are not qualified to change your life with me." Arrogance, then try it. Kong's expression froze, revealing all his aura, and attacked Chen Mu again. Kong is now fighting with the awareness that he must die, and his attacks have become more swift and violent than before. 8 inner gates alone can't beat this guy. Chen Mu smacked his tongue inwardly. The power of the 8 inner gates is indeed terrifying, but, with just this level, they still cannot defeat Kong. Wood style, wood dragon technique. With a light slap, Chen Mu began to use the power of wood style. After opening 8 inner gates, the strength of wood style that can be released will also increase accordingly. It fell with Chen Mu's voice. From in front of Chen Mu, a huge wooden dragon appeared. The wooden dragon stretches its teeth and claws, its body is covered with barbs, and there are sharp fangs in its mouth. Roar! The wooden dragon roared, and then threw it at Kong. I saw the wooden dragon starting from the head, and began to spread the black paint. This is exactly armament hockey. Chen Mu covered the wooden dragon with a layer of high-grade armament hockey, so as to enhance the attack and defense of the wooden dragon again. Tempest kick. Looking at the attacking wooden dragon, Kong's expression froze. Then he jumped up slightly, and with a flying kick, a terrifying blue slash flew out, crossing the space and quickly colliding with the dragon. Boom! With a roaring sound, the wooden dragon resisted Kong's tempest kick, and then there was a crack on the head, but it recovered immediately. Damn it! Finger pistol. Kong concentrated all his strength on one index finger, and then stabbed at the Shulong in front of him. Boom! It makes a crisp sound like a bullet shooting. Kong itself has extremely strong physical skills, as well as the very terrifying armament hockey. If all the power of this level is poured into the index finger, the power is naturally no small matter. Even though the wooden dragon was wrapped with an extremely hard-armed color, it was still pierced by Kong using the power of the finger pistol. Ask for flowers. Cracks appeared all over the wooden dragon's body, and then completely shattered and fell to the ground. Is that your strongest move, Chen Mu? Kong said with a cold snort. Well, of course not, but, you want to see my strongest move, I will naturally satisfy you. Fairy. Chen Mu clasped his hands together, and then black eyeliner appeared from the corners of his eyes and forehead. Chen Mu quickly entered Sage mode, and then slammed lightly. Sage Art Wood Style True several thousand hands. Immortal Art and Wood Style are all abilities that Chen Mu acquired a few years ago. But, because no terrible enemies were encountered. So these two forces are used separately, but go to war with someone as strong as Kong today. Naturally, it needs to be taken seriously. Use the strongest ability you have, The combination of wood style and Xianju, the power released. It fell with Chen Mu's voice. Boom! The entire Valley of the Gods was trembling, the entire battlefield, and all the people who were fighting were attracted by Chen Mu. From Chen Mu's feet, a huge Buddha statue slowly broke through the ground. And behind the Buddha statue, there are thousands of arms. Each arm is as huge as a towering ancient tree. Wood-style true several thousand hands appeared in front of everyone, when Chen Mu stood on the forehead of the Buddha statue and looked down. You can only see dense crowds, as small as ants. Rayleigh stared at the wood-style true several thousand hands released by Chen Mu, broke out in a cold sweat, and exclaimed. This? What kind of monster is this? Devil fruit, can you still? Jabba couldn't help swallowing. Does Chen Mu still have this kind of power? Roger couldn't help but gasped and said in shock. The current him already has some doubts about whether it is appropriate to appear in the Valley of Gods today. I thought that joining forces with Marine, they would definitely win the Rocks pirates steadily. But now it seems that with Chen Mu around, even if they join forces, something will happen. Small. 103 Breaking through the Valley of the Gods. Jia ha ha ha. You have been hiding for so long, so this is your real strength, Chen Mu? Golden Lion burst out laughing when he saw this scene. Fortunately, Chen Mu is on our side. If such a monster also stands on Marine's side, it will be a headache, Charlotte Linlin said solemnly. This monster, we can't defeat it at all. This battle, our Marine will lose. Why'd I want to participate in this battle, why'd I want to fight against the devil? We can't win, because the opponent is not human at all. Seeing this scene, countless Marine soldiers were once again demoralized. 5-0. Kong, Marine Marshal Velcro, Garp, Sengoku, and Mog all looked towards Kong involuntarily. They are all very worried, facing Chen Mu's ability. How to fight against it? Kong tore off his tattered justice uniform, and shouted with a serious expression. Don't worry about me, let me face this enemy alone. The entire battlefield, whether it was the Roger pirates or the Marines, was shocked by the wood-style true several thousand hands released by Chen Mu. But some cadres of the Rocks pirate don't think so. John stared at the wood-style true several thousand hands released by Chen Mu, and snorted coldly. It's just a bluff. Although the size of true several thousand hands is as huge as a mountain, its whole body is full of terrifying aura. But Silver Axe thinks it's just a bluff. He doesn't think that this huge thing has terrible destructive power. Looking at the wood-style true several thousand hands released by Chen Mu, Silver Axe was also full of disdain and said, It took so many years to develop my own devil fruit ability, but did I just develop a huge size, Chen Mu? You are really stupid. It's not just a huge thing that has terrible destructive power. As the saying goes, you can't have both. In Silver Axe's view, the more terrifying a thing is, the weaker its power will be. What Silver Axe believes is that Chen Mu has used all the development of devil fruit in the shape over the years, but the power is actually extremely weak. Just let me watch a good show, Chen Mu. You can't scare Marine Admiral with bravado alone, Ochaku sneered. At this time, Kong wrapped himself around armament hockey, with an extremely solemn expression, and yelled at Chen Mu, who was standing on top of the Buddha statue. Chen Mu. Chen Mu stood on top of the Buddha statue, his robe rattling in the wind, and said condescendingly, Well, don't shout, I know you want to lose to me today. Boom. With a thought in Chen Mu's mind, the arm behind the huge Buddha statue was shaking slightly, ready to attack. Seeing this scene, everyone in the Valley of the Gods has already noticed that this burst of rumble seems to be Kong's execution song. Come. Facing the terrifying power transmitted from wood-style true several thousand hands, Kong showed no trace of fear on his face. Urgent. Enough for you. With a thought in Chen Mu's mind, the arm behind the huge Buddha statue quickly slammed towards Kong. Bang bang bang. Countless arms quickly submerged Kong's entire body. Kong clenched his fists tightly, and his fists continued to blast like machine guns. Kong's strength is terrifying. Every punch can destroy the arm attacked by true several thousand hands. But the number of wood-style true several thousand hands is too much. No matter how hard he tried to destroy the attacking arm, another arm continued to attack without stopping. On the battlefield, the sound of wood being destroyed continued to be heard. But Kong's figure can't be seen all the time. The speed at which Kong destroys the arm is still slightly inferior to the speed at which true several thousand hands attack. Seeing this scene, the entire Valley of the Gods even paused for a short while to focus on Chen Mu and Kong. Ochaku stared at the battlefield, his pupils shrank violently and said in surprise, How is it possible? This Buddha statue has such a strong power. Cold sweat broke out on John's forehead and he said in disbelief, What are you kidding? The ability released by Chen Mu can even be suppressed by Marine Admiral? Chen Mu. Silver Axe was so shocked that he couldn't speak at this time. He originally thought that the wood-style true several thousand hands released by Chen Mu was just scary enough in appearance. 0. But I didn't expect. Even the power is so terrible, even Marine Admiral Kong was suppressed and beaten by Chen Mu at this time. Golden Lion stared at the distant battlefield seriously, and said in a deep voice, "Hey, Chen Mu, don't tell me that you can even defeat Admiral of Naval Headquarters." Although Golden Lion didn't think so, the wood-style true several thousand hands released by Chen Mu was just a bluff. But it would be an exaggeration if even Admiral can be defeated. So lala. Chen Mu, your ability really surprised me, Whitebeard couldn't help laughing. He sincerely felt the terrifying power from the ability released by Chen Mu. Roger, Rayleigh, Jabba, Kaido, Charlotte Linlin, Rox, Marine Marshal Vikro, Garp, and Sengoku were all slightly distracted at this moment, staring at Chen Mu's figure. The ability released by Chen Mu almost shocked the audience. "Old man, how could I lose to you so easily?" Kong roared as he destroyed wood-style true several thousand hands. If he was beaten to 4.7 by true several thousand hands, wouldn't he have no chance to beat Chen Mu? So, now he must not give up, at the very least, he must defeat Chen Mu. Thinking of this, Kong burst out with even stronger aura once again. Wood-style true several thousand hands arms, the number is too much. Deafening sounds continued to be heard throughout the Valley of the Gods. Boom! Accompanied by a huge bang, the entire Valley of Gods trembled. Then, in the big pit in front of Chen Mu, seawater poured upwards. Chen Mu's wood-style true several thousand hands pierced through the ground of the Valley of the Gods. "Are you dead?" Chen Mu clucked his tongue while standing on top of wood-style true several thousand hands. He's not sure if Kong is dead, because the Valley of the Gods has been pierced. 104 Kong's life and death are uncertain at this time. Kong should have been swallowed by the seawater, and it is impossible to determine whether he is alive or dead. Staring at the big pit with seawater pouring in front of him, Chen Mu didn't have the idea of going deep into the big pit to hunt down Kong in the deep sea. If you die, and if you don't die, it doesn't matter. Because of Chen Mu, it is impossible to lose to a defeated general. Punched through. Chen Mu pierced the Valley of the Gods. Steel. Kong Admiral, can't be dead already. Lost. Kong Admiral lost to Chen Mu. I want to surrender. On the battlefield, countless Marine soldiers stared blankly at the huge deep pit created by Chen Mu. Seawater is constantly spreading out of the deep pit, but Kong is nowhere to be seen, which makes countless Marines have a bad premonition. Hey, Chen Mu, you bastard! Even Golden Lion saw this scene, and Ten's pupils shrank violently. Chen Mu beat Naval Headquarters Admiral Kong, and may have even killed Kong. I think we shouldn't appear in the Valley of the Gods, at least. I really don't want to face this guy Chen Mu now. Roger stared at Chen Mu's figure, couldn't help but take a deep breath. Now Chen Mu's strength is slightly higher than Admiral's. And he, Roger, is only infinitely close to Admiral at this time. In the future, he can become an existence beyond Admiral, but, not now. Jabba stared at him solemnly and asked, "Roger, shall we retreat?" What he said was not a joke, but that he really had the idea of retreating. Even if we team up with Marine, we can't win the Rox pirate. Whether it's Rox or Chen Mu, these two guys are a monster. Rayleigh can't help but sigh. Roger sighed and said, "Leave? I also have this idea, but the matter is over. If we escape in the Valley of the Gods today, wouldn't our Roger pirates become the laughing stock of the world?" Roger also has the idea of leaving at this time, but, in this situation, there is no way to leave. The Roger pirates teamed up with Marine to take down Rox pirate. But now, if they don't even take the Rox, they run away. In the future, I believe that even if they Roger pirates have terrible strength. Also a laughing stock. The other side. Rox laughed ferociously and said, "Ha. Has Marine Admiral Kong already been defeated? Your strength, even I am impressed, Chen Mu." Rox sighed sincerely at this time. Chen Mu's strength is terrifying. Even he is willing to admit that Chen Mu's talent lies in him. Kong. Although Marine Marshal Velcro and Garp who are fighting with him are very worried about Kong's situation. But they can't do anything now. After all, it took them a lot of energy just to fight the Rox together. I have no time to care about other people. Standing on top of the huge Buddha statue, Chen Mu glanced at the giant arms behind him. There were originally thousands of giant arms, but Kong had destroyed them to only a few dozen. And Chen Mu was almost exhausted at this time. Defeated an admiral, which consumed a huge amount of his stamina. He took back wood-style true several thousand hands. Because with his current physical strength, it is no longer possible to restore the destroyed arm of wood-style true several thousand hands. Chen Mu. Suddenly a familiar voice came. Sengoku in Buddha form appeared directly above Chen Mu, and he stretched out both palms, trying to create a terrifying shockwave. Whitebeard appeared in front of Chen Mu in an instant, grinned, held Kong Yunchi with both hands and said, "Sengoku, your opponent is me." Whitebeard clumps of clouds cut, wrapped in a layer of white airflow. This is the power of shock fruit. Boom! Sengoku's shockwave collided with Whitebeard's vibration, and there was a loud noise. Caw. The ground plane of the Valley of the Gods, which was already devastated, was attacked by such a collision between the two. There are cracks in the ground plane with a radius of 100 meters. I believe that it will not be long before the entire Valley of Gods will collapse. Seeing the scene around him, John couldn't help complaining. Damn it, because Chen Mu pierced through the Valley of the Gods, and it won't be long before the Valley of the Gods will sink. On the shore of the Valley of the Gods, there was continuous seawater rushing up, coupled with the damage caused by countless strong men fighting. Believe it. Not long before, the entire Valley of the Gods will sink into the deep sea. Ochaku glanced around, and suggested, maybe, it's time for us to retreat. Damn it, we haven't had time to plunder the treasures of the Valley of the Gods. The Valley of the Gods is about to sink into the sea, and what stands in front of them is the main force from the Roger Pirates and naval headquarters. In the eyes of this group of people, it is almost impossible to go deep into the Valley of the Gods. Charlotte Linlin glanced around, then put her eyes on Kaido and reminded 043, Kaido, it's time for us to leave. These cadres, the purpose of coming to the Valley of the Gods today is to let rocks die here. And plundering the treasures of the Valley of the Gods. But now, the Valley of the Gods is about to sink into the sea. It is almost impossible for them to find an opportunity to jump over Marine before the Valley of Gods sinks into the sea, and for the Roger Pirates to go deep into the Valley of Gods. That is to say, it is a waste of time for them to continue to stay in this place to fight. I see. Kaido nodded. After the words fell, a huge white cloud Zeus appeared beside Charlotte Linlin. Then the two went up without any hesitation, and left the Valley of Gods directly. Seeing that the two had already left, Ochaku quickly reminded the two people beside him. Damn it, Linlin and Kaido have already left, and we need to leave quickly, otherwise. 1. We may be pirated by Marine and Roger surrounded. Charlotte Linlin and Kaido have left, which means Naval Headquarters Top Vice Admiral has no rivals. They are already struggling enough against their respective enemies, and with a few Top Vice Admirals, they are likely to be left behind. The treasures of the Valley of the Gods are important, but they are far less important than lives. 105 Marshal Vicro was beheaded. John and Silver Axe looked around briefly and then agreed. The three quickly retreated. Golden Lion roughly glanced at the battlefield and then left with Lion Fruit. The main cadres of the Rocks Regiment have retreated a few, not to mention the ordinary cadres. After a while, only Rocks, Chen Mu, and Whitebeard were left in the Valley of the Gods, the three strong members of the Rocks group. And the crew of the countless Rocks pirates who have yet to retreat. Other than that, others were evacuated early. Chen Mu looked at the strong Marines and the Roger pirates around him, and couldn't help but click his tongue. It seems that it's troublesome. No one expected that Charlotte Linlin, Kaido, John, Silver Axe, and Ochaku would abandon them so decisively. He slipped away without anyone noticing. The occupation of the Valley of Gods was instantly reversed. Naval Headquarters Top Vice Admiral, Crane, Marine Admiral Mog, Zephyr, Roger, Rayleigh, Jabba quickly surrounded Chen Mu and Whitebeard. Since Rocks is fighting Marine Marshal Velcro and Garp at the same time, it can't help them any at this time. No, it can't be done. It seems that our Rocks pirate is about to lose. Chen Mu found that. Now he doesn't have much physical strength, and Edward alone can't compete with so many Marines. Damn it, Captain Rocks and Chen Mu, is Edward destined to perish here today? Damn it, if it wasn't for Chen Mu's exhaustion, or just relying on them, they definitely wouldn't be able to kill Chen Mu. Originally, Chen Mu defeated Kong, the pirate of the Rocks group, and his morale climbed to the peak, and he became more and more courageous as he fought. But the situation on the battlefield is ups and downs. Although Kong has been defeated by Chen Mu, the other cadres of their Rocks regiment have retreated, seeing the situation is not good. Countless pirates of the Rocks group felt a burst of despair. At this time, Whitebeard held Kong Yunki with both hands, guarding in front of Chen Mu, looking around vigilantly, forced a smile on his face and said, "So Lala. Now we are really in trouble." W. In fact, with Whitebeard's current physical strength, as long as he abandons Chen Mu, he must have a chance to escape from the Valley of the Gods. Because the targets of this group of Marines are completely Rocks and Chen Mu. But Chen Mu is Whitebeard's only friend in Rocks Pirate, and can even be said to be the only friend of his entire life at present. Abandoning friends and living alone is something Whitebeard can't do. Marine Admiral Mog folded his hands on his chest and stared at Whitebeard and said, "Edward, our main goal is for Chen Mu behind you. If you get out of the way, you still have a chance of survival. The world government has already issued an order. The main people to be exterminated in this battle of the Valley of the Gods are Rocks and Chen Mu. Other pirates can be let go, because they are still needed to maintain the balance of world pirates and marine forces. In the eyes of the five elders, the biggest threat right now is the Rocks. The most threatening future is Chen Mu. Just get rid of these two people. Let Whitebeard, Golden Lion, Charlotte Linlin, Kaido Silver Axe, John, Ochaku grow. For them five elders, they are not a threat at all. Stop laughing, you bastard, it's not my Whitebeard style to do things like abandon friends," Whitebeard responded with a cold snort. "So, do you think you can compete with so many of us at the same time?" the top vice admiral reminded abruptly. Chen Mu defeated Kong, but he himself was almost exhausted. For them Marine, it can almost be said that they are not a threat. Which is to say, their current enemy is Whitebeard. Whitebeard clasped Kong Yunki tightly with both hands, his arms were bulging with veins, and said coldly, "You'll know if you try it. Chen Mu, there will be a fight later, you should find a chance to retreat." Whitebeard turned his head slightly and whispered to Chen Mu. He still has a little understanding of Chen Mu's ability. He once saw a boat appear when Chen Shu pulled his hand. Although Chen Mu has very little physical strength left now, he must be able to create a boat and escape from the Valley of the Gods. "Aren't you asking me to abandon you and leave alone?" Chen Mu shrugged and smiled. Hearing this, Whitebeard's face suddenly became serious and said in a deep voice, "At this time, don't talk about friendship. Chen Mu, I may not die if I stay and fight, but you will definitely die if you stay." Just when Chen Mu was about to say something, Garp's roar suddenly came from the battlefield. Marshal Velcro. When everyone heard the sound, they turned their heads and saw that the head of Marshal Vicro had been beheaded by rocks. How is that possible? Sengoku's pupils shrank suddenly, and his tone trembled slightly. Rocks. Marine Admiral Mog saw this scene, and the veins on his forehead suddenly popped up. Crane, Zephyr, and all the top vice admirals were stunned, standing still in place before they could react. The same is true for the 3 members of the Roger Pirates. My Nima, is this a human? Garp's current strength is infinitely close to admirals. And Marine Marshal Velcro's strength slightly surpassed admirals. But, it was these 2 people with extremely strong terrifying power who besieged rocks, and one of them was beheaded. Roger Pirates looked at rocks, then looked at Chen He. Several people couldn't help swallowing a mouthful of saliva. They sighed sincerely at this time. These 2 people are really the monsters occupying the apex, Li Mahao. They can no longer be defined by humans. Ha ha ha. Is this the only strength, Velcro? Rocks laughed ferociously. Although he had countless injuries, but he still beheaded a man surrounded by 2 people. The strength of Rocks is truly terrifying. After killing Velcro, Rocks quickly appeared in front of Whitebeard and Chen Mu. Rocks glanced at the 2 of them and warned. The Valley of the Gods is the burial place of my Rocks, not the 2 of you. Leave the Valley of the Gods now. Rocks helped Chen Mu so much, and Whitebeard. It was entirely because, when he was fighting Marine, only these 2 were fighting for him. Just for this, before he dies, he has to do something for Chen Mu and Whitebeard. 106 Chen Mu eats fairy beans, and his physical strength recovers to its peak. Marine Admiral Mog's face turned cold, and he said in a deep voice, "You 3, don't even think about leaving today." As his words fell, Garp, Sengoku, and Suru appeared directly behind the 3 of them and stopped them. Rocks, Chen Mu, although the combat power of these 2 people is extremely terrifying to Marine. But they are also very clear that the physical strength of these 2 people is close to the limit. On their side, there are Marine Admiral Mog, Garp, Sengoku, Zephyr, Crane, and the top Vice Admiral, plus the Roger Pirates. Roger glanced at the 3 members of Roger's regiment, then turned his attention to Marine and the others and said, "The battle is over, so we'll leave first." Even in his opinion, the 3 members of the Rocks group must die. But after all, he is now allied with Marine and can't help the 3. But, at the same time, he doesn't want to continue to form an alliance with Marine and continue to kill these 3 people. "Hey, Roger, you bastard, the prerequisite for us to dissolve the alliance is to get rid of the Rocks group, and the 3 of them are not dead yet," a top vice admiral shouted coldly. Roger didn't look back, but walked on his own, took Rayleigh and Jabba away, and then said slowly, "Whether in my opinion or in your opinion, isn't the battle already over? We are no longer needed for 977 games in this battle. Leave the rest to you, Marine, we don't want to continue to participate in this matter." Rayleigh turned his head and said politely. "The alliance between the Roger Pirates and Marine has come to an end," Jabba echoed. Watching the 3 members of Roger's group leave, this group of top vice admirals was out of breath. Sengoku didn't cause too many disturbances in his heart, and calmly said, "With only a few of us, it is easy to get rid of the 3 of them." Crane nodded and said, "Sengoku is right, no matter how strong Rocks and Chen Mu were at their peak, they're just paper tigers now." Rocks glanced around with cold eyes and said in a deep voice, "You really don't leave a way for our new pirates to survive. So what, do you think we will let the tiger go back to the mountain?" Garp snorted coldly, his eyes full of murderous intent fixed on Rocks. "Come on, kill them," Marine Admiral Mog ordered. As his words fell, Garp, Sengoku, Zephyr, Crane, and a group of top vice admirals quickly rushed towards them together. Chen Mu looked around, then took out a celestial bean and said in his hand, "It seems that it is necessary to consume a celestial bean." The frog traveled in 10,000 worlds, and only got back 3 fairy beans. Needless to say the value, it is very precious. But now, there is no need for the immortal bean left, otherwise, he will die here. Chen Mu swallowed the fairy beans quickly, and the fatigue in his whole body was swept away in the next second, and his body, which had already collapsed, instantly recovered to its peak. The roar of the Flame Dragon King. Chen Mu slammed lightly, and his whole body was entwined with terrifying flames that could burn everything. In the next second, a fireball with an extremely wide range spit out from his mouth, directly surrounding all Marines. The flame fell to the ground, forming a sea of flames directly on the water-covered ground level. At this moment, even Rox and Whitebeard standing next to Chen Mu broke out in cold sweat. Chen Mu, haven't you exhausted your physical strength? Whitebeard stared at Chen Mu in surprise and asked. Just now Chen Mu looked weak, but now Chen Mu is full of terrifying aura. As if, returned to the peak again, after staring at Chen Mu for a moment, Rox burst into laughter. You guy, you always give me a lot of surprises. Although he didn't know what happened to Chen Mu, but he was sure that now Chen Mu's physical strength had returned to its peak. BABD. That's Chen Mu's move. How? How is it possible? Isn't Chen Mu's physical strength exhausted? How? How is it possible to release such a move? Don't forget, Chen Mu is a monster that cannot be described by common sense. If that's the case, our Rox group is still undefeated. Already in despair, many pirates who were ready to quietly watch the fall of the 3 members of the Rox group. Seeing Chen Mu suddenly release such a move, he immediately became excited again. They know that Chen Shu still has the power to fight again with a move that can release such terrifying power. The other side. The 3 members of the Roger Pirates, who were about to leave by boat, suddenly felt that the surrounding temperature was rising. Turning his head to look, he saw the Valley of the Gods, and a sea of flames rose up. Rayleigh took a breath and said in surprise, This doesn't seem like the ability released by Marine. Garp, Sengoku, Zephyr, Marine Admiral Mog, and several top vice admirals did not eat devil fruit. The only one who eats devil fruit is Crane, but her devil fruit is a washing fruit, which has nothing to do with flames. Jabba rested his chin on his hand and pondered. This doesn't seem like the ability released by Rox. It has nothing to do with Edward. Could it be? Chen. Hasn't Chen Mu's physical strength been exhausted? How could he release such a powerful move? Roger frowned in confusion. They are in the Valley of the Gods, but they used observation Haki to check the status of Chen Mu. They knew very well that Chen Mu's physical strength was close to the limit, and it was impossible to release such a move. Something may have changed on the island. Do you want to go back and see Roger? Jabba took a deep breath and suggested, 2. Hearing this, Roger fell into deep thought, and then said, Forget it, no matter what happens, Rox, Chen Mu, and Whitebeard will not survive. Roger guessed that Chen Mu might have exhausted all his physical strength to release such a move. Although in their view, with Chen Mu's current physical strength, this cannot be done. But don't forget, Chen Mu is not an ordinary person at all. It is completely impossible to use normal people to measure the physique of a monster. That's right, no matter what, it's true that Rox and Chen Mu have exhausted their physical strength. Surrounded by many top fighters in Marine, no matter how powerful they are, it's impossible for them to escape from the Valley of Gods. Rayleigh, after being shocked, he fell into a calm state and expressed his opinion. 107 The battle is over, the victorious Marine. Although Chen Mu is the most terrifying genius of this era, it's a pity. He is destined to perish in the Valley of Gods today. Roger set his gaze in the direction of the Valley of Gods. Although he doesn't know what the current battle in the Valley of the Gods is like. But he knew very well that no matter what, it was impossible for Marine to let go of the 2 weak and frighteningly strong men. Without Rox and Chen Mu, our Roger pirates will definitely become the top pirates in this sea. The existence of Rox gave them unlimited pressure on the Roger pirates. But the existence of Chen Mu gave them infinite despair. Although Rox is strong, but its strength has reached the end and can no longer break through to a higher level. Roger believes that when his strength reaches the peak, he still has a chance to fight the Rox. But like Chen Mu has a talent even scarier than Rox. Now Chen Mu's strength is above his Roger, not to mention the future. Rox and Chen Mu fell in the Valley of the Gods at the same time, which will bring a sigh of relief to their entire Roger pirates. Roger pirates, set sail. As the voice fell, the members of the Roger pirates left the Valley of the Gods in a boat. Valley of the Gods. Let's go, Edward. This flame will hold them back for a while, Chen Mu said to the Japanese beard beside him. They have been fighting in the Valley of the Gods for so long, but none of the strong men from the world government showed up. Therefore, Chen Mu couldn't help but feel a little worried. If it dragged on further, the powerhouses of the world government would also appear on this battlefield. Whitebeard nodded, and was about to leave with Chen Mu, but he turned his head to look at Rox and said, Do you want to leave together, Captain Rox? I don't need it. If the 3 of us retreat together, we may be inseparable. Let me guard here to stop them. Rox turned his head and refused with a grin. The road to world domination has been broken in today's Battle of the Valley of the Gods. Rox didn't want to continue to live any longer, so he might as well make a contribution to his crew before dying. I see. Whitebeard didn't say much, and quickly left the place with Chen Mu, heading for the coast somewhere in the Valley of the Gods. Marine Admiral Mog, who appeared from the Sea of Flames, came to the front of Rox, and said darkly, Damn it, before Chen Mu's physical strength is exhausted, does he still have such ability? As his voice fell, Sengoku, Garp, Zephyr, Crane, and Vice Admiral appeared at the same time. But they only saw rocks. Chen Mu and others had already left. Damn it, Chen Mu and the others escaped. Chase, Marine Admiral Mog ordered with a slight frown. Sengoku and Zephyr took a sudden look, and then wanted to hunt down Chen Mu and Whitebeard. Shua. Suddenly a terrifying sword energy flashed across the ground, directly splitting the ground into a bottomless chasm, blocking the way of the two of them. Hey, your opponent is me. Rox. Rox looked at the many marine masters. Without fear, he rushed up and started fighting with everyone. Although Rox's physical strength is approaching the limit at this time, don't forget that his own strength is beyond the admiral level. And the highest combat strength on the marine side is only a Marine Admiral Mog with more than half of his physical strength. Even if they have so many marine powerhouses joining forces against Rox at the same time, Rox can delay a lot of time in the middle. A few days later, a piece of news shocked the world. The captain of the Rox regiment, Rox, fell, and the Rox pirate disbanded. The nightmare that surrounds the hearts of the world, the Rox, has been eliminated by the Marine. This makes the new world, countless countries, excited. But then, the world government issued bounties for other Rox pirate members. It has made countless countries realize that something is wrong. Edward Newgate bounty. 3.7 billion Baileys. Golden Lion. 3.5 billion Baileys. Chen Mu. 3.45 billion Baileys. Charlotte Linlin. 3.1 billion Baileys. Ochaku. 2.6 billion Baileys. Silver Axe. 2.65 billion Baileys. John. 2.5 billion Baileys. Kaido. 1.8 billion Pele. At present, the highest bounty in the entire sea is Whitebeard. And Chen Mu's previous bounty was 2.2 billion Baileys after experiencing the Valley of the Gods. The bounty has directly increased by 1.25 billion Baileys. 0 for flowers. This rate of increase has surprised countless people. The franchise countries that were also initially excited were taken aback when they saw the bounty offered by the Rox group. Feelings? Only Rox is dead, and all other cadres are alive? Naval Headquarters, Marine Variety. Numerous marine executives, as well as some from Japan, again held the top meeting. However, the atmosphere in the meeting room was very heavy. Although Rox was killed, they paid a more painful price. In this battle of the Valley of the Gods, we have lost 2 indispensable combat forces. Marine Vice Admiral Sengoku sighed, looking at the heavy atmosphere around him. When Garp heard this, the veins on his fists and forehead bulged, and he said angrily, I didn't expect that bastard Rox, even before he died, to have such terrifying strength. .00. Marine Admiral Velcro and Marine Admiral Mog are all dead by Lux's hands. As these words fell, the atmosphere in the entire meeting room became heavy again. Rox also fought Garp Velcro and killed Velcro. Then Rox was under the siege of Zephyr, Crane, Mog, and several top vice admirals when his physical strength was almost exhausted. Killed Marine Admiral Mog again. Such terrifying strength and such unbelievable things caused the entire meeting room to fall into deep contemplation. Damn it, we shouldn't be hunting down Chen Mu. Garp fell into deep self-blame at this time. He thought that Zephyr and others would be enough to get rid of Rox. So he went to hunt down Chen Mu with Sengoku in the Valley of the Gods, but, unexpectedly, Chen Mu was not in a weak state at all. Even back to its prime. After entangled with them for a while, they left, and when they returned, they saw the fall of Mog Admiral. Although Kong and Zephyr did not die in Chen Mu's hands, now, Zephyr's arm has been disabled due to untimely treatment, and Kong is still in a coma. Damn it, this is our Marine's big failure. I didn't expect that. Chen Mu didn't get rid of Chen Mu in the Valley of Gods. That guy Chen Mu's physique is really too unusual. 108 Marine New Admiral Garp, Sengoku. It was Chen Mu who disabled Zephyr's arm and beat Marine Admiral Kong into a coma and has not yet woken up. If Chen Mu was also eliminated in the Battle of the Valley of the Gods, their Marines would still be able to accept such a loss. But Chen Mu was not eliminated, and they lost countless marine powerhouses, as well as 2 top fighters. Plus Zephyr's future ruined by Chen Mu. Such a result makes them unacceptable to Marine. Forget it, let's not discuss this heavy fact. Now that Naval Headquarters has a vacant position for an admiral and a position for a Marine Marshal, we need to discuss who will fill these 2 vacant positions. An official from the world government spoke out. The purpose of their coming here is to discuss the new Marine Admiral and Marine Marshal. A high-ranking Marine glanced around and, 590, expressed his opinion and suggested, the position of Marshal Marine, I think Kong should be in charge. Among their naval headquarters, Kong's strength is terrifying. This is an undeniable fact. Moreover, Kong's upper limit of strength has not yet reached the peak. Such a man can definitely take the position of Marine Marshal. Although, Kong lost the battle in the Valley of the Gods. But, the reason for all this is simply because his opponent is Chen Mu. I also agree with Sora as the new Marine Marshal. Agree. In the conference room, most of the Marine executives agreed with Kong being elected as the new Marine Marshal. After all, their naval headquarters don't have any top players other than Kong. Would you be elected as the new Marshal? If that's the case, there will be 2 vacancies in the position of Marine Admiral. Now, the Naval Headquarters, MOG Admiral was beheaded by Rox. The only remaining admirals are Kong and the Wolf. If Kong is elected as the Marine Admiral, there will only be 1 Marine Admiral left. It seems that 2 Marine Admirals need to be elected today, the world government official said with his hand on his chin. The remaining 2 positions should be filled by Marine Vice Admiral Garp and Marine Vice Admiral Sengoku, a senior executive suggested. Naval Headquarters Vice Admiral Sengoku, Garp, Zephyr, all 3 are 3 stars of their naval headquarters. With Zephyr's current strength, it is difficult to hold the position of Marine Admiral. So this position can only be held by Garp and Sengoku now. The current strength of these 2 people is infinitely close to that of Admiral. What's more, they still have a lot of room for growth. I have no objection to the election of these 2 people as the new Marine Admiral. A senior executive also expressed his opinion. Agree. 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 In the Marine high-level meeting, most of the high-level leaders raised their hands in agreement. What do you 2 think? Do you want to be elected as the new Marine Admiral? World government officials asked, looking at the 2 of them. I have no objection. Sengoku nodded. Following Sengoku's words, everyone turned their attention to Garp. As long as he nods, Garp will be the new Marine Admiral in the future. I have no objection either. Garp nodded solemnly. In the original book, Garp refused to be elected Marine Admiral because he felt that becoming Marine Admiral would be the word. Freedom-loving Garp, who will be the lackey of the Celestial Dragons, wouldn't want to be tied down by the position of Marine Admiral. But, in today's world, because of Chen Mu's insertion, there is a butterfly effect. Changed Garp's thinking, and now Garp's inner thinking is to get rid of all the pirates in the world. After becoming Admiral, he can participate in more actions to encircle and suppress the New World Pirate Group, and can obtain more information about Chen Mu. That's why he would love to be a Marine Admiral. If this is the case, then this meeting can also be declared over. Several world government officials did not continue to gossip in this place, stood up and chose to leave. Now Marine's new Marshal is Kong, Marine Admiral, Garp, Sengoku, and the Wolf. New World, a certain island. Roger, Rayleigh, Jabba, and all members of the Roger Pirates gathered in this place. Eating barbecue and drinking wine. And at this moment, a pirate with a bounty on the coast rushed towards here. 0. R.O. Captain Roger. Roger turned his head and saw that he was holding a reward order in his hand and said flatly, "Why are you in such a hurry? It's not about the reward order for our Roger Pirates." This time they Roger Pirates, appearing in the Valley of the Gods, teamed up with Marine. So, Marine in order to cover up the truth of joining forces with them. Certainly not to spread any news about their Roger Pirates. Also, their bounties for the Roger Pirates will definitely not increase. Through this guess, Roger knew that what the pirate held in his hand was not the reward order of their Roger Pirates. It's a bounty from the Rox pirate. Although Rox is dead, many cadres have already escaped. You bastard, why are you so reckless? What's so interesting about the reward order of the Rox pirate cadre? Jabba glanced at him while eating the barbecue. Rayleigh gulped down a bottle of fine wine, wiped the froth from the corners of his mouth, took a comfortable sip, and said, "Well, it's not impossible to take a look. It is estimated that the reward orders for Rox, Chen Mu, and Whitebeard have been buried by the world government all right. If Chen Mu survived the Battle of the Valley of the Gods, I believe his bounty has already reached 3 billion Baileys, but it's a pity. It's impossible for him to recover from exhaustion in 3.1. It escaped from the hands of the strong Marine." Jabba clicked his tongue. Chen Mu even defeated Marine Admiral Kong in the Valley of the Gods. This level of strength shocked countless people. In the entire Valley of the Gods, the best performers are Rox and Chen Mu. Unfortunately, from their point of view, Rox, Chen Mu and Whitebeard had all died on that battlefield. R.O. Captain Roger, Chen. The crew member holding the reward order was about to say something, but Roger interrupted. "Give me the reward order." "Yes, Luo." Captain Roger. The pirate handed the reward order to Roger. After handing it to Roger, the pirate wanted to say something, but Roger waved his hand slightly. The pirate naturally knew what it meant, so he didn't say anything more, left the spot, and continued to inspect the edge of the island. 109 Chen Mu offers a bounty of 3.45 billion. Roger opened the reward order in his hand. When Roger saw the first reward order, he was a little surprised and said, "Oh, Golden Lion is 3.5 billion Baileys. You know, Roger's bounty is only a mere 1.6 billion Baileys. But that's just for now. In the original book, Roger Pirates is the strongest pirate group that rises rapidly when the rocks perish." Roger kept flipping through the reward orders in his hand, and suddenly saw Whitebeard's reward orders. His pupils shrank slightly. "Edward, Newgate's 3.2 billion Baileys?" Following Roger's words, Rayleigh and Jabba beside them were taken aback. Didn't Edward fall in the Battle of the Valley of the Gods? Since there is a reward order for Whitebeard, then, that means that he did not perish in the Valley of the Gods. After all, if it was a dead person, how could the world government be idle and add a reward order to him? Staring at the reward order in his hand, Roger expressed his opinion. "It seems In the Battle of the Valley of the Gods, only Rocks and Chen Mu fell, and Edward with enough physical strength, the Valley of the Gods escaped. That's right, that fellow Edward, before we leave, he still has enough physical strength, it is indeed possible to leave the Valley of the Gods. Rayleigh nodded in agreement. However, when Roger opened the last reward order, his face froze in an instant, his eyes fixed on the reward order in his hand, and he didn't speak for a long time, as if he saw something impossible. Rayleigh, who was clinking glasses with many crew members, saw Roger's expression and couldn't help asking, "What's wrong, Roger?" Roger seemed to have not heard Rayleigh's words, and was still in a dazed state. Jabba, who was closest to Roger, approached Roger slightly curiously and asked, "What's wrong with the reward order, Roger?" However, when he saw the last reward order in Roger's hand, he broke into a cold sweat instantly. Rayleigh frowned slightly, although he didn't know what happened, but seeing the expressions of the two of them, he quickly approached them. However, when Rayleigh saw the reward in Roger's hand, he broke out in a cold sweat just like Jabba, and stammered. Chen Mu, the reward is 3450 million Baileys? Looking at the reward order for Chen Mu in Roger's hand. Although Rayleigh finds it unbelievable, even though he thinks this reward order is fake. But he is very clear. The world government regards Chen Mu as a thorn in his side. If Chen Mu falls in the Valley of the Gods, they will fully increase Chen Mu's bounty of 1.25 billion Baileys. Since there is a reward order for Chen Mu, it means that Chen Mu is not dead. Chen Mu didn't fall into the Valley of the Gods. After being shocked for a long time, Jabba couldn't help but gasped. Rayleigh said in disbelief. How is it possible? With the little physical strength left by Chen Mu, it is impossible to compete with the strong Marine. Chen Mu hasn't fallen? Roger said in a deep voice, trying to calm down his shocked heart. Although I have seen Chen Mu's reward order, it is confirmed that Chen Mu is still alive. But they, within a short period of time, still can't fully accept this fact. This kind of thing is really too far-fetched. With such monsters, it will never be our turn in the era of the Roger Pirates. Rayleigh smiled wryly. They thought that after the fall of Rocks and others, it was up to Roger Pirates to regain the top of the world. But Chen Mu is not dead, and their pirate group needs to stand aside. Sanctuary Marijoy, inside the highest hall. The five old men gathered together again. I have to say that they have held several meetings in the past few months. The blonde-haired old man glanced at the four people around him with a heavy expression and said, in this battle, with the help of the Roger Pirates, Marines still won a miserable victory. Although Rocks has been eliminated, it's a pity that Chen Mu is still alive, the old man with straight white hair said seriously. According to the information provided by Marine, after Chen Mu defeated Marine Admiral Kong, his physical strength was completely exhausted, and he returned to his peak period. Regarding this news, are you 14? Chen Mu's devil fruit, which involves flames and natural power, should belong to Paramecia. It can recover to its peak in a short time after exhaustion of physical strength. Even the world's strongest phantom beast demon fruit power neither can. Marine is lying. The old man in the black suit expressed his opinion. A Paramecia ability user has absolutely nothing to do with restoring physical strength. What's more, it is even more impossible to recover from a weak state to a peak state in just a few minutes. Even for the Phantom Beast Phoenix Fruit user with the strongest recovery ability, it will take a few days for him to recover to the peak after his physical strength is completely exhausted. So, he didn't believe what Marine said. After a moment of silence, the scarred old man said solemnly, no. Not necessarily. 110. After his voice fell, the eyes of the other four old men all focused on him. The other four old men had never fought against Chen Mu, only the scarred old man had fought against Chen Mu. Compared with Chen Mu's understanding, it is naturally the elderly with the most scars. Don't you think recovering stamina is also an ability of Chen Mu Devil Fruit? Asked the old man in the black suit. The scarred old man glanced at the four of them, and then expressed his opinion. There are many secrets buried in Chen Mu. It is possible that I have studied Devil Fruit thoroughly, and what kind of Devil Fruit is Chen Mu? We don't know at all. Chen Mu's Devil Fruit ability involves many aspects, and can even restore physical strength. This is something impossible for any kind of Devil Fruit in this sea. But, if the Devil Fruit's secrets have been thoroughly researched, then maybe. Devil Fruit has existed since a long time ago. It has never been heard that anyone has thoroughly studied Devil Fruit. Even Mr. Yim has not fully grasped the secrets of Devil Fruit. Could it be that Chen Mu has already done it? Is it? The old man with straight hair said solemnly. 110 gain a new ability, the essence of demons. After hearing what he said, the old man in black suit frowned slightly and said, this is too exaggerated. Chen Mu's age is not that old nowadays. At such an age, he has a slightly stronger strength than ordinary admirals, if he can firmly grasp the secret of Devil Fruit. Such a thing is too far-fetched. We know too little about Chen Mu, but this does not rule out that he has really mastered the secret of Devil Fruit. In short, his future threat to us is stronger than that of Rocks. If necessary, we need to kill Chen Mu ourselves, the scarred old man said with a serious expression. They five elders rarely meddle in matters of the sea, everything is for balance. But, the appearance of Chen Mu is likely to break the balance of the sea. If the day comes when Chen Mu breaks the balance, even they can't stand by and watch. Time flies, and it has come a year later. After experiencing the Battle of the Valley of the Gods, the rocks fell. But, Whitebeard, Golden Lion, Charlotte Linlin, Silver Axe, John, Kaido, Ochaku. All formed their own pirate groups. They themselves are the cadres of the Rock's pirate and have extremely strong strength. After creating the pirate group, this group of people is also flourishing in New World. Of course, after experiencing the Battle of the Valley of Gods, they all grew up a lot. The strength has also undergone earth-shaking changes this year. As for Chen Mu, there was almost no news during this year. I didn't create my own pirate group, and I didn't have any other achievements in the sea, as if it disappeared. New World, an island. Blue brew, blue blue. Blue, brew. Chen Mu picked up the phone bug and held it to his ear. Brother Chen Mu, there will be an auction soon in New World Cyrus country. Opposite the phone bug is the official crew of the former Rock's pirate. After the disbandment of Rock's pirate, Chen Mu continued to search for devil fruit in New World. But, after almost a year, he only found 6 devil fruits. I have to say, devil fruit is really one of the most precious things in this world. Extremely hard to find. Chen Mu got in touch with the crew who had asked him about the auction and asked them to help find them. Now we finally have a clue. I see. Chen Mu nodded, then hung up the phone. Is it the country of pharaohs? It seems that it is time to set sail. Chen Mu stood up, clapped his hands together, and used the power of wood style to create a boat. Although the boat has only simple equipment, it can still be driven. Chen Mu boarded the ship, ready to go to Pharaoh's country. And at this moment, the voice of the system came into Chen Mu's mind. Ding, congratulations host, the traveling frog's journey is over. Pay attention to check the reward brought back by the frog. Is the second journey finally over? But it's been a long time? The travel time of traveling frogs ranges from half a month to 6 months. Chen Mu's luck these 2 times was very bad. Both trips took nearly 6 months before the frog returned. But, it's worth mentioning that the last time the frog came back from his journey, it wasn't a powerful ability or item. But from the world of SpongeBob SquarePants, the secret recipe of Crab King. Although I don't know what it's useful for, but it's really useless. As for the time of the year, most of the photos the frog brought back were landscape photos. There are very few photos of people, and Chen Mu didn't get any ability in the photos. I hope that this time, what the frog brings back will no longer be useless things like the secret recipe of the Crab King. Before clicking check, Chen Mu secretly prayed, sure to check. Ding, congratulations to host, you have obtained the essence of the Ice Emperor from the Crimson Eyes world. Oh, the essence of demons? This ability is similar to Aokiji's devil fruit in the original book, which can release the power of ice. As for which one is stronger and which one is weaker, this Chen Mu is still unclear. But, I believe this ability will not be weaker than the devil fruit that Aokiji will eat in the future. As the system's voice fell, it appeared in the Chen Mu bottle, and what was contained in the bottle was the essence of the devil. Chen Mu swallowed the whole bottle of devil's essence without any hesitation. In the next second, various emotions appeared in Chen Mu's mind, killing, tyranny, and fear. Various negative emotions constantly echoed in Chen Mu's mind. But, to this level, it was like scratching an itch for Chen Mu. After all, in this pirate world, Chen Mu's strength has reached the admiral level, and the essence of demons can't help him at all. With the passage of time and seconds, the negative emotions in Chen Mu's mind also disappeared. Afterwards, the power of the devil essence was completely mastered by Chen Mu. A special force poured into Chen Mu's body, and Chen Mu's thoughts moved. In the next second, extremely cold ice appeared from his body, and the ice layer froze the entire ship in an instant. Ka 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 ka. Accompanied by a sound, the area with a radius of hundreds of meters was completely frozen by ice, and a terrible cold air was blowing upwards. Chen Mu jumped off the boat and smashed his fist hard on the ice, shattering the ice directly. But Chen Mu's punch, okay, didn't break the ice completely. Hardness is okay. Chen Mu looked at the scene in front of him and nodded slightly in relief. With this ability, Chen Mu's strength can be said to be raised to a higher level. Then Chen Mu opened the properties panel. Host, Chen Mu. Abilities. Armament Hockey Advanced, Observation Hockey Advanced, Conqueror's Hockey Apex. Physique. Copper-skinned iron bone physique is in the middle stage. Special abilities. 8 inner gates, 7th gate, Fire Dragon Slayer Magic Advanced, Wood Style Middle Stage, Immortal Art Middle Stage, Devil's Essence Early Stage. In this year's training, Armament Hockey and Observation Hockey were still unable to enter the top level. A year ago, it was still an early stage of Sage Art, but now it has reached the mid-stage level. After closing the attribute panel in front of him, Chen Mu clapped his hands again, creating a boat again. Then depart for the country of pharaohs, 111 John's Conspiracy. New World, Fellows Country. Chen Mu's boat is docked by the sea to avoid being noticed. Putting on a black robe, he landed on the island. Although now, his strength is enough to surpass most people in this world. But the purpose of his coming to this country is only for the devil fruit in the auction, and he has no other ideas. For him, the less trouble, the better. Of course, during this year, it was precisely because Chen Mu was always wearing a black robe that no one noticed him at all. The auction of Pharaoh's country will be held on the boat. Everyone, please get on the boat. Suddenly, from a distance, a staff member shouted towards the surroundings. Chen Mu heard the reputation and looked around, only to see a huge ship docked by the coast. Looking at this slightly familiar ship, if Chen Mu remembers correctly, this should be John's ship. Could it be that John held the Pharaoh's country auction? Chen Mu mused, resting his chin on his hand. But he didn't think too much about it, no matter who held it. As long as there is a devil fruit auction, his pirate career in the past few years has won countless wealth. Chen Mu roughly estimated that the jewels he placed in the frog room at 850 must be worth hundreds of billions of Baileys. So no matter what devil fruit he has, Chen Mu can auction it off with financial resources. Thinking of this, Chen Mu boarded John's pirate ship. When you board the ship and enter the cabin, you can find that there is a lot of space inside the ship. Countless people have already found a good position and sat on the chair. Chen Mu also found a corner to do it, but soon, Chen Mu realized something was wrong. Many pirates appeared behind the auction, standing in a row. There was a lot of discussion in the auction, discussing what to buy next. Almost no one noticed the pirates behind them, after a while. At this time on the stage, a staff member appeared and waved. "Everyone be quiet," a pirate said impatiently. "Don't be quiet, let's start." "Of course, it will start right away," the staff responded with a grin. In the next second, a large number of pirates poured in from the rear of the auction and directly in front of the auction, and pointed their weapons at those who wanted to participate in the auction. "Hey, what are you guys? Baffage, isn't this an auction? What are you trying to do?" Seeing this scene, the crowd in the audience instantly became vigilant and asked angrily. The staff spread their hands and said calmly, "It's not what you said, should we start quickly? Don't you intend to auction it, are you trying to grab what we have?" "That's right, but there is no reward." The staff waved their hands slightly, some of the pirates took action directly, and the other part of the pirates held the door to prevent them from leaving. Seeing the menacing pirates, although everyone in the auction was very reluctant, they didn't dare to resist, and obediently handed over their jewels. Shua. After these people handed over the precious items they carried, the group of pirates still killed them without hesitation. You. What do you mean, haven't the jewels been given to you? You guys. Are you trying to kill people to silence your mouth? The staff calmly lit a cigarette and said indifferently. That's right, otherwise. Do you think that we have held so many auctions in the sea, how could anyone notice the abnormality? Their pirate ship is exactly John's ship. In order to get money quickly, John made the interior of his boat into an auction form. Every once in a while, news of an auction in a certain country is released to some regions. Wait until the group of people who want to participate in the auction land on the island, and then remind them that the auction will be held on the boat. It was almost time for the people to come, and they drove the boat directly to the sea. Afterwards, get rid of all the pirates on board, and then rob their treasures to ensure that the news will not be revealed. Damn it, you bastards, we won't let you kill us. Many people started to resist, but their strength is nothing compared to this group of pirates. The staff standing on the stage, seeing the rebelling pirates, couldn't help but feel a little ridiculous and reminded. I advise you to save yourselves. The captain of this ship is the captain of the great pirate John. This group of pirates are all pirates with a bounty of over 100 million. Inside Bendo's huge cabin with hundreds of people, only half of the people remained in a short time. These people are completely lambs waiting to be slaughtered, without the slightest means of resistance. This really looks like your style, John. Sitting in the corner, Chen Mu looked at the miserable situation around him and sighed. Shua. In the next second, a pirate with a bounty of over 100 million suddenly appeared on Chen Mu's side, intending to split Chen Mu open, and then go to Chen Mu's body to search for jewels and the like. Crack. Chen Mu stood up slowly, a terrible cold air appeared around his body, and the next second the cold air froze, instantly freezing the pirate with a bounty of over 100 million in place. His whole body turned into an ice sculpture. The temperature of the entire auction dropped by a few points. Seeing this scene, the staff of the auction frowned slightly and said, "Did you catch a big fish?" Although these days, John pirates attract some ordinary pirates under the name of auction. But there are also powerful pirates. He left the cigarette in his hand on the ground, then took out the phone bug and called John on the boat. In the audience, many members of the John pirates who were slaughtering, after seeing Chen Mu, all the pirates who offered a reward of over 100 million. All eyes were on him. Get rid of this guy first. But be careful, this guy has eaten devil fruit, and the strength is not low. With so many of us, do we still need to be afraid of him? Many pirates with a reward of over 100 million gathered together, and then armed with weapons, they charged at Chen Mu from various angles, trying to split him apart. Ka. In the next second, a more terrifying cold air radiated from Chen Mu's body to the surroundings. The cold air hit his body and instantly froze all the pirates with a reward of more than 100 million in the entire auction into ice sculptures, unable to move an inch anymore. Good. So cold. No, no, good, so strong. This man is just like us, all are participating in the auction. Look, it seems that we are saved. The rest of the crowd who hadn't been massacred by the pirates suddenly relaxed after seeing Chen Mu. Because Chen Mu does not belong to the John pirates, but participates in the auction just like them. 112 Chen Mu versus John. Just when many people felt relieved, several men poured a basin of cold water on them instantly. No, no, it's not that simple, have you forgotten? The captain of this ship is John. The former ex-Rocks pirate Kadri. The bounty is as high as 2.7 billion Bailey John. It is impossible for this man to defeat John. Yo. John is a famous pirate in the whole new world, except for monsters like Chen Mu and Golden Lion. Otherwise, no one can defeat him. We are still doomed. As these few words fell, the remaining surviving crowd felt desperate again in an instant. In their eyes, Chen Mu's expressiveness is indeed terrifying, but it can't be compared with the great John the pirate. Step, 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 along with the sound of footsteps, a slightly thin man appeared in everyone's sight. He is none other than the well-known New World pirate John. And following behind him, there are a group of pirates with a bounty of over 100 million. As soon as he stepped into the auction room, John frowned slightly and looked at Chen Mu, and said in a deep voice, "It's such a terrible cold, New World doesn't seem to have heard of your name." Chen Mu shrugged and said calmly, "I haven't seen you for a while, have you forgotten me, John?" Hearing this familiar voice, John was taken aback for a moment, then his pupils shrank, and he took a step back. Several pirates standing beside John with a bounty of over 100 million were a little surprised to see John's expression. John's strength ranks first in the entire New World, but now he only heard Chen Mu's voice, and he took a step back in fright, which made several people feel very unbelievable. Joe. Captain John. Who is he? Although they don't know who Chen Mu is, but they know very well that Chen Mu must be a scary person. John frowned, staring at Chen Mu, who was wearing a black robe, and said coldly, "Is that Chen Mu?" Chen Mu. The man who defeated Marine Admiral Kong in the Valley of the Gods. Chen Mu's bounty, as I remember it is 3.45 billion Bailey. Why did this man appear here? Hearing John's words, the pirates around him froze in place. Although Chen Mu is in New World, there has been no news for a year. But his name is now extremely loud in the New World. Almost no one knows. Not only the pirates around John were surprised, but also the men who were talking about just now. What? He is Chen Mu. We are saved. He is Chen Mu. Many people who were originally in despair, when they learned that the black-robed man was Chen Mu, countless people suddenly had hope in their hearts. John is indeed very strong, but Chen Mu is a terrible existence in New World, second only to Rocks. Such a man, standing on their side, they will definitely not die in the hands of John. Chen Mu took off the black hat on his head and said calmly, "Well, I haven't seen you for a year, and you have already forgotten me. You are so lucky that you didn't fall into the Valley of the Gods," John snorted coldly. In the Battle of the Valley of the Gods, when Chen Mu defeated Kong to break through the Valley of the Gods, John, Ochaku, Silver Axe, Kaido, Charlotte Linlin, Golden Lion and others all chose to retreat. Only Chen Mu, Rocks, and Whitebeard were left to face many of Marine's top fighters, as well as the Roger pirates. Even John thought that waiting for Chen Mu would be a certain death. No one thought that Chen Mu survived in the end. "The Valley of the Gods is the final destination of the Rocks, not mine," Chen Mu said calmly. "Even if you didn't die in the Valley of the Gods, I believe you still have a lot of hidden wounds on your body now," John sneered. After the end of the Battle of the Valley of the Gods, Chen Mu has been in the sea, almost disappearing for a year. John guessed that Chen Mu suffered an injury that was difficult to recover in the Valley of the Gods, and has been in a state of recuperation for a year. But since the injury is serious enough to require a year of recuperation, then John is sure that the injury Chen Mu suffered was an injury to the internal organs. This kind of injury cannot be fully recovered, and it will leave hidden wounds. At his peak a year ago, Chen Mu's strength reached the admiral level. But this year, Chen Mu has been recovering from his injuries, and his strength must have declined without training. Ask for flowers. Thinking of this, John was no longer full of fear towards Chen Mu. Secret injury. Hearing John's words, Chen Mu was slightly taken aback. There were no hidden wounds left on his body, and even after the Battle of the Valley of the Gods, his physical strength was still at its peak. Seeing Chen Mu's reaction, John was more sure of his guess and grinned. "I believe that you have distributed a lot of treasures in the Rocks group over the years, Chen Mu. Hand them all over, and I can make you die faster." Chen Mu stared at John and couldn't help but sigh and said, "I said, you don't have a problem with your brain." He didn't know where John got the confidence to talk to himself like this. John's complexion sank, and he roared at Chen Mu, "Stop bluffing in front of me, bastard, you are not at your peak now, do you think I will be afraid of you? Holding a famous knife in his hand, John stared at Chen Mu with a ferocious expression, and then launched an offensive directly. Shua. Holding the blade with one hand, John slashed towards Chen Mu with all his strength, and the ground was torn open along the way. The sword energy is vertical and horizontal, as if it has the power to destroy the world. After leaving Rock's pirate, after a year of growth, John's strength is now infinitely close to that of Admiral. Chen Mu looked at the attacking sword energy, his knowledge unfolded, his body slightly opened, and he easily dodged John's slash. Ka ka ka. I saw that the boat under everyone's feet split into two halves. Although John's attack did not hit Chen Mu, but he split his entire boat. Seeing that Chen Mu was about to fall into the water, the moment he touched the water, Chen Mu used the power of the devil's quintessence to directly freeze the sea level with a radius of hundreds of meters into a thick block of ice. Good. So strong. Is this the strength of Captain John? If that's the case, even Chen Mu, Captain John will definitely be able to defeat him. Several pirates standing beside John said excitedly. Although they are John's crew, John is well known in the New World after all. Few people dare to challenge him, so, even though they have been with John for a long time, still haven't seen his true strength, today is the first time. 113 The power of the essence of demons from the broken boat, John landed on the ice and taunted. You, now, dare to dodge my attack, Chen Mu. Chen Mu spread his hands, and complained helplessly. You play a lot, John. The sword energy flies so slowly, I don't want to dodge, do I want to drink a cup of tea before taking your attack? Arrogance. Hearing Chen Mu's ridicule, John's complexion sank, and the murderous intent emerged from his body. At this time, his aura is rising, like a god of killing descending into the world, his whole body exudes a terrifying aura. You today, become my stepping stone, Chen Mu, John roared, and rushed towards Chen Da again. Chen Mu is now, after all, one of the most famous big pirates in New World. If John today could kill Chen Mu here, then his name will be on par with New World's Whitebeard and other 190 people. With your strength, you are not qualified at all, John. Boundless seas of ice. Chen Mu let out a light slap, and the cold air on his body was completely exposed, and the surrounding temperature directly dropped by dozens of degrees. Everyone present seemed to be in a world of ice and snow, and those who participated in the auction had already been frozen in sculpture. Only the pirates under John, with a bounty of hundreds of millions of Baileys, can barely survive being frozen into sculptures in this cold air. The entire sea was filled with cold air, and when John's body was a few meters closer to Chen Mu, ice slowly formed all over his body. Damn it! John's pupils shrank slightly, and he was about to retreat back, away from Chen Mu, but it was too late, and his whole body was frozen by the ice. It became an immobile ice sculpture, about Captain John. How is it possible? Second, insta-kill. Captain Johann, unexpectedly lost. Chen Mu, as the newspaper said, it is impossible to use common sense to describe him as terrible. Those pirates who offered a bounty of hundreds of millions of berries froze in place when they saw the scene in front of them. Their captain, no matter what, is also a well-known big pirate in New World. But, in front of Chen Mu, he was instantly killed and frozen into a statue. They couldn't imagine the extent of Chen Mu's current strength. They didn't dare to approach Chen Mu at all at this moment, because they were not even considered cannon fodder. Chen Mu admired the masterpieces around him, and couldn't help sighing. This ability is so incredibly powerful. According to the setting in the original work of Cutting the Red Eyes, when the power of the devil is cultivated to a certain level, even the space can be frozen for a few seconds. Chen Mu also doesn't know if he can develop the power of the devil essence to this extent in time. After admiring the power of his abilities, Chen Mu set his sights on John, who was frozen into a statue in front of him. Crack, crack, crack. The ice layer on John's body is breaking apart for a moment. The ice covering John's body completely shattered. Sure enough, isn't it that easy to defeat? Chen Mu was not surprised when he saw the scene in front of him. After all, no matter what, John's current strength is infinitely close to the Admiral level. Not so easy to beat, Joe. Captain John hasn't lost yet. The battle between Chen Mu and Captain John is not over yet. The pirate who offered a bounty of hundreds of millions of berries became excited again after seeing this scene. They knew very well that if John lost, they would die too. So, they really don't want John to lose to Chen Mu. It's so dangerous, John gasped, and quickly stepped back a few steps, away from Chen Mu. When Chen Mu's ice covered his whole body, he covered the bones with armament hockey to ensure that the bones were not frozen by the ice, so that there was a possibility of escape. After John adjusted his state, he stared at Chen Mu with a ferocious expression and said, "You bastard, your strength hasn't declined." After the intensity of the ability released by Chen Mu just now, John is sure that Chen Mu's strength is still at its peak at this time. Didn't go down. When did I say that my strength has declined? Chen Mu asked in confusion. Hearing this, John's face became extremely solemn, and he glanced around. His ship had been destroyed by himself. 0. And all around is the endless sea, there's no escape route at all. Originally, it was for the convenience of dealing with those who participated in the auction, but now, it is very likely to become his graveyard. Thinking of this, John also knew that he had no way out and could only fight. I saw that his whole body and bones were covered with a layer of armament hockey to prevent the erosion of cold air. Swish swish swish. John swung several knives in a row, each of which contained an extremely terrifying sword energy. These sword chi are enough to easily break a mountain, split the sea. The sword chi crisscrossed, and the three sword chi, like three evil dragons, quickly rushed towards Chen Mu. John knew that in close combat, he might not be Chen Mu's opponent. That being the case, it can only use sword energy to attack. Too slow, John. Looking at the incoming sword energy, a red light flashed in Chen Mu's eyes, and the observation hockey unfolded, easily predicting the path of the sword energy. He swayed his body slightly, dodging the sword energy attack exactly. After dodging the incoming sword energy, Chen Mu took the initiative to attack. His speed was extremely fast, and he appeared directly in front of John in the next second. Chen Mu's fist was covered with armament hockey, and the power of cold air attacked John. Damn it, you bastard! 1.9 John frowned, his arms were bulging with veins, he tightly held the famous knife in his hand, and then he slashed towards Chen Mu. When? The deafening sound resounded through the sea, and the ice surface on the two of them also shattered directly. However, Chen Mu's body exuded a terrible cold air, and the sea surface that was shattered was restored to its original state again. Chen Mu's fist collided with John's famous knife, and he saw that the blade was constantly freezing. The blade seemed to be stuck to Chen Mu's fist, and John couldn't pull the blade out even with all his strength. Damn, how could I lose to you guy? John pulled out the famous knife with all his strength. Boom! In the next second, Chen Mu hit John in the abdomen with his fist. John's body rubbed against the ice, drawing a long gap, and his body appeared 100 meters away. 114 beheading John, so strong, Chen Mu's strength is above Captain John's. No. Hopeless, about. Captain John is no match for Chen Mu at all. Are we going to escape? Escape. I can't escape, we can't escape in the eyes of Chen Mu. Many pirates who were watching the battle with a bounty of over 100 million looked at Chen Mu's figure in horror. John really shocked them when he showed his strength, but Chen Shu's strength shocked them so much that they gave up hope of surviving. Because they didn't think they could escape from Chen Mu's hands at all. John, who was 100 meters away, stood up with a grim expression. Glancing at the bitingly cold sea water behind him, which hadn't been frozen by the cold air, he jumped into the seawater to escape. At this moment, he knew very well that he could not be Chen Mu's opponent at all. If he continues to fight, he will only die. This time, I will definitely take revenge on Chen Mu. John's heart froze, his expression turned extremely ferocious. Then he jumped up, wanting to jump into the sea, caw. In the next second, the extremely cold air hit, and the sea level under John was instantly frozen into a hard layer of ice. If you have any revenge, you can just avenge it now, why wait until later? Chen Mu appeared behind John, and said calmly. Are you determined to fight me to the death today, Chen Mu? Fight to the death? Don't be kidding John, do you think you deserve to fight to the death with me? Chen Mu waved his hand and said calmly. The battle between Chen Mu and John was completely unilateral. This is not a fight to the death, and the reason why Chen Mu has such a high killing intent towards John. That's because John had troubled him once on the Rocks Regiment. Chen Mu is very vengeful, and there is no chance to kill John in the Rocks group. It doesn't mean that after leaving the Rocks group, he still has no chance. You guy, don't underestimate me, John said angrily. Now John is very clear that Chen Mu has murderous intentions towards him, and it is impossible to escape today. Either kill Chen Mu, or fall here. Thinking of this, John completely abandoned the idea of living, and his whole body was full of killing intent. At this moment when he is almost on the verge of death, John's understanding of swordsmanship, also at this time, has reached another level. Has the mood changed? Chen Mu was always calmly staring at John in front of him. Regardless of John's strength and promotion, Chen Mu doesn't think John is his opponent. Come on Chen Mu, I will definitely kill you today. John held the famous knife tightly in both hands, and there was no longer fear in his eyes, but full of fighting spirit. Shua. John took the initiative to rush to Chen Mu, raised the blade high and slashed down. When Chen Mu wrapped the armed color and conquerors around his fist, and held John's blade with one hand. It seems that we need to be a little more serious. Chen Mu's face became solemn, and the conquerors in his body surged out continuously, combining with his arm. This makes his arm have extremely terrifying destructive power. The cold air in the body also poured out, contaminating John's famous knife. As we all know, objects corroded by cold air will become very fragile. Of course, the same goes for the famous sword wrapped around high-level armament hockey. Crack. The cold air continued to erode the famous sword, and the veins on Chen Mu's arms bulged, and the palms of his hands were covered with armed colors and conquerors. Then he used all his brute strength to hold the famous knife tightly, the originally extremely hard famous knife was directly cracked by Chen Mu's strength. How? How is it possible? John's pupils contracted violently, and he stared at the scene in front of him in disbelief. Chen Mu's power actually destroyed the famous knife in his hand, creating a crack. Although it is only a crack, but, through this, John knows how terrifying the power of Chen Mu is. You know, the famous knife in John's hand is well known throughout the New World. His value is even infinitely close to that of a big knife. Moreover, the raw material for casting this famous knife is made of one of the hardest substances in the world. It is extremely difficult to damage. Especially John, at this time, a layer of advanced armament hockey is wrapped around the famous sword. At this time, the hardness of famous knives can definitely be called the top in the world, but this is the hardness. It was broken into a crack by Chen Mu. It's over, John. When John was shocked, Chen Mu instantly released cold air, freezing John's whole body. This time, because John didn't pay too much attention, the cold air pierced his bones, directly freezing his flesh and blood into ice cubes. At this time, unless someone came to rescue him, otherwise, John alone couldn't relieve the cold covering his body. Seeing that John was completely frozen, Chen Mu drew out the famous knife in John's hand. At this time, no matter how hard Chen Mu tried, there was only one crack on the famous knife, and there were no more cracks. After all, it is the world's top famous knife. Even with the power Chen Mu possesses now, it can only create a crack. Shua. Chen Mu held John's famous knife and slashed hard, causing John's body to be broken in two. The famous great pirate in New World, John, was also beheaded by Chen Mu today and fell into the sea. In the future 630 legendary career, John no longer has a share. After killing John, Chen Mu looked at the famous knife in his hand and fell into deep thought. He doesn't use a knife, so it doesn't seem to be of any use to keep it. But, Chen Mu stared at the crack on the blade, and suddenly thought of something, too. Well, put it away, and use it as a tool to test your strength and progress in the future. Chen Mu put the famous knife into the frog's room. When he can leave more cracks on the famous knife, it means that his strength has improved. After killing John, Chen Mu quickly returned to John's boat, which was 100 meters away. At this moment, Chen Mu could see that those pirates with hundreds of millions of bounties were still in place and did not leave. It's not that they didn't leave, but that they felt that they couldn't leave, so they gave up surviving directly. Seeing that Chen Mu had returned but John was nowhere to be seen, their hearts were filled with despair. Many pirates slumped on the ground, waiting for Chen Mu's punishment. But, Chen Mu just glanced at them, and then set his sights on the split boat. The news you spread about the auction of devil fruit is false, right? Chen Mu asked lightly. The pirates who offered a reward of over 100 million were slightly taken aback, and then quickly responded. Evil. Devil fruit. About. Captain John has collected a few. 115 6 more devil fruits. Oh. Where is it? Take me there. Chen Mu put his eyes on several people and ordered. Yes, yes. Several people nodded repeatedly. Then he brought Chen Mu to a certain place in the fragmented cabin. Here is where Captain John keeps his valuables. Hearing this, Chen Mu looked at the gate in front of him and then turned his attention to the people behind him. Shua. Chen Mu took out John's famous knife and quickly beheaded several people, but he didn't kill them all. Instead, one was left. Similarly, he still needs this person alive to convey the news to the outside world, and he, Chen Mu, went to sea again. During this year, Chen Mu has thought about a problem. That is to hide their tracks, and the efficiency of finding devil fruit secretly is very low. If this is the case, let the sea become chaotic, so that you have a better chance of finding devil fruit. Chen Mu put away the famous knife, then waved slightly to signal him to leave. You want to let me go? The surviving pirate said in a terrified low voice when he saw the corpses of his companions scattered all over the place. When Chen Mu heard the words, he turned his head and said indifferently, Why, you don't want to leave? The pirate was stunned for a moment, cold sweat broke out on his forehead and said, No, it's not. Thank you, Mr. Chen Mu. Facing the pirate's thanks, Chen Mu did not speak, but turned his eyes to the door again. Master Chen Mu, I heard that you have half of the treasure map of the devil pirates, and as Captain John said, the other half of the treasure map of the devil pirates is in the silver hand. The pirate said respectfully. This pirate is a grateful person, since Chen Mu is willing to let him go, then, he is willing to tell Chen Mu about it. Really? Chen Mu was slightly surprised. The devil pirates is a pirate group that rose earlier than the Rocks pirate. It is the era of Rocks, the strongest in the sea of the previous era. But for some reason, it was later destroyed for no reason. Only the treasure map where the ghost pirates were buried was left, and it was divided into two. Chen Mu got a half treasure map of the devil pirates at an auction a few years ago. However, he also feels that the chances of finding the other half of the treasure map are slim, and he hasn't done too much searching these years. But I didn't expect Silver Axe to have found another one. Yes, Master Chen Mu. I see, Chen Mu nodded. As Chen Mu's voice fell, the pirate laughed quickly. Silver Axe? At this moment, Chen Mu is full of interest in Silver Axe, because he wants to get the other half of the treasure map in Silver Axe's hands. If you can collect the entire treasure map, it means that Chen Mu will get all the treasures of the devil pirates. The evil pirates, after all, were the strongest pirates in the pre-Rocks era. There must be a background beyond Superman's imagination. After thinking for a while, Chen Mu once again set his sights on the door in front of him. Boom! Accompanied by a sound, the door in front of him was directly destroyed by Chen Mu. There are precious jewels all over the place, as well as some treasure chests. Chen Mu opened it, and the devil fruit was stored inside. 6. Chen Mu opened the treasure chest. There are 6 devil fruits in total. Chen Mu put all the devil fruits into the frog's room, and then set his sights on the jewels in front of him. After looking at it for a while, he also put it in the frog's room. After doing all this, Chen Mu also left the ship. Within a few days, the news that Chen Mu went to sea again spread throughout the New World. New World, aboard the Moby Dick. This ship is exactly what Whitebeard has spent a lot of money building since leaving the Valley of the Gods. At this time, Whitebeard is lying on the chair in the middle of the boat, drinking the beautiful scenery. Dad. At this time, not far away, a young boy with yellow hair trotted over. Already, Marco? Whitebeard placed the wine gourd and asked with his gaze on Marco. Dad, you read the newspaper. Marco handed the newspaper to Whitebeard. Whitebeard gulped down a bottle of fine wine, wiped the foam from the corners of his mouth, threw the wine gourd aside, and said flatly, "What's so interesting about the newspaper? It's nothing more than news about Shiki and Linlin's development site. Since leaving the Rocks Group, Golden Lion, Charlotte Linlin, Silver Axe, John, and Roger Pirates. All of them are in New World, thinking of ways to make money and develop their own territory. The news during this period is basically about this group of people. In this regard, Whitebeard has no interest in this news." "No, Dad, this news is not about them, but about John." Marco shook his head. Okay, Marco, I'm not interested in this kind of boring news." After hearing John's name, Whitebeard was even less interested in reading the newspaper. All right. Marco nodded and threw the newspaper towards the seaside. The newspaper was unbiased, and it happened to be thrown on Joe's, who was lying on the rail of the boat watching the sea. "Hey, Marco, don't litter." Joe's held the newspaper in his hand and greeted Marco. After Joe's finished speaking, he set his eyes on the newspaper, read it carefully for a while, and then read the key content. John has fallen. Whitebeard, who was sitting on the huge sofa, was slightly taken aback when he heard this. Is the content in the newspaper reporting the news of John's death? Whitebeard asked, looking at Marco. Yes. Marco nodded. Hearing Marco's affirmation, Whitebeard frowned suddenly. He thought that what was reported in the newspaper was the news about John's development. But I didn't expect it to be the news of the fall. After all, John is an excellent cadre of the Rocks Regiment. The bounty of Lee's has reached 2.7 billion Baileys, and he is an out-and-out big pirate in New World. In the entire New World, there are only a few who can defeat John. And there are even fewer who can kill John. If you want to kill John, at least you have to be at the Admiral level. Could it be that after the death of Captain Rocks, new monsters appeared in this sea? Whitebeard put his hand to his chin, and his expression became serious. A crew member beside Whitebeard said with a solemn expression, "It seems that New World, or calm down, old man. The one who can kill John, at the very least, must be Marine Admiral himself." However, due to the Battle of the Valley of the Gods a year ago, Naval Headquarters has been repairing its combat power, and will not send Admiral at all go after John Alter. The other great pirates would also not dare to do such a silly thing. As expected, a hidden monster has been born in this sea. A pirate with a bounty of 1 billion Baileys said. 116 Silver Axe allies with Ochaku. Whitebeard said seriously. During the year when Chen Mu disappeared, a monster appeared again, but I don't know whether it was Chen Mu who was strong, or the hidden person who killed John. Monsters are stronger. Dad is talking about Chen Mu who defeated Marine Admiral Kong in the Valley of the Gods and has a bounty of 3.45 billion Baileys? Right. Shouldn't these strong people quickly develop their power after the death of Rocks? Why did they disappear in this sea? Several pirates expressed their doubts. Whitebeard said gravely, "Maybe I know something. When he was in the Valley of the Gods, Chen Mu's physical strength should have been exhausted, but I don't know what kind of power he used to bring his physical strength back to the peak. We were left behind by Garp and Sengoku in the Valley of the Earth. In the Valley of the Gods, due to the excessive physical exertion of Rocks. So after some fighting, Garp and Sengoku found a chance to chase him and Chen Mu. However, due to Chen Mu's strong combat power, Garp and Sengoku couldn't keep them, and finally managed to let them escape. What does Dad mean? Chen Mu used a special power, so he needs to cultivate. If nothing else happens, that's the reason. Whitebeard nodded slightly regretfully. It is estimated that Chen Mu is still in training, but unfortunately, his talent is not inferior to that of Captain Rocks. Thinking of Chen Mu, Whitebeard's expression became ugly. He felt that he was too weak in the Battle of the Valley of Gods. Otherwise, Chen Mu would not be forced to use the power of taboo, so he has not yet appeared in the sea engineering. At this time, Joes, listening to the conversation of several people not far away, looked at Whitebeard on the newspaper in his hand and said, "Father, there is a mention of Chen Mu in this newspaper." Upon hearing the news, Whitebeard, who had a heavy complexion, stood up abruptly. Joes stared at the newspaper in his hand and read. The content in the newspaper is that Chen Mu beheaded John. What? Whitebeard's pupils constricted violently at the words. He quickly came to Joes, picked up the newspaper, and read it carefully. The originally surprised face gradually returned to normal and finally smiled. So la. I said that there is someone in New World who has enough strength to kill John, so it was Chen Mu, the bastard who did it. Seeing the news, Whitebeard felt in a good mood at this time. Since Chen Mu's current strength is enough to easily kill John, that is to say, he has returned to his peak period now. Did Chen Mu do it? It turns out that the monster we are talking about is Chen Lin. Several pirates on board who offered a bounty of 1 billion Baileys said in a little surprise. Chen Mu disappeared for a year, and the first thing he surfaced was to get rid of John, who had a problem with him. This really looks like his style. Chen Mu. Is he very strong, Dad? Marco asked a little curiously. Chen Mu's strength is probably higher than mine. Whitebeard nodded. Joe said in disbelief. Is it better than Dad? Whenever I bring you to meet him, you will know how exaggerated his strength is. Whitebeard laughed. New World, an island. This place is the site of Silver Axe. Since leaving the Rocks group, he has also developed rapidly in New World. And also found another half of the treasure map about the ghost pirates. At this time, Silver Axe was sitting on a chair, staring at the newspaper in his hand with a heavy expression. Has John been killed by Chen Mu? And at this moment, a pirate came in and reported, Captain Silver Axe, Ochaku has arrived. Hearing these words, Silver Axe's heavy face eased a lot and he slightly raised his head and said, let him in. 11 The pirate said respectfully. After a while, a tall man in armor walked in. He is none other than Ochaku, who, like John, was a cadre of the Rocks pirate. Long time no see, Ochaku. Seeing Ochaku speak, Silver Axe greeted him with a smile on his face. Ochaku unceremoniously sat across from Silver Axe and said calmly, let's stop gossiping. I'll do it. Don't blame me for getting mad if you call me here just for a silly thing. Ochaku reminded, looking directly at Silver Axe. Don't think of me as a boring person, Ochaku. So, what is it? Can we get to the point? Hearing Ochaku's words, Silver Axe stopped talking. I believe. You also know about the devil pirates. Understanding. The evil ghost pirates were once wiped out by someone in New World. It is rumored that there is a treasure map in New World, but it was divided into two. One of them has been found by me up. Is it the treasure map of the devil pirates? I remember. The other one is in Chen Mu's hands. Yes. Silver Axe nodded. After Silver Axe found the treasure map of the ghost pirates, he originally planned to join forces with John to find Chen Mu in New World. Because John had conflicts with Chen Mu in the Rocks Regiment, Silver Axe thought it was a good choice to find John. But, unfortunately, just a few days ago John was dead, and he was killed by Chen Mu. John is gone. Silver Axe quickly targeted Ochaku. While on the ship, Silver Axe doesn't have much friendship with Ochaku. Likewise, Silver Axe has no feud with Chen Mu, but now, he had no choice. Chen Mu has gone to sea again. If Chen Mu knows that he is carrying the other half of the treasure map of the devil pirates, then Silver Axe believes that Chen Mu will definitely come to trouble him. Especially if Chen Mu is looking for him, why not team up with Ochaku and find Chen Mu first? After hearing what Silver Axe said, Ochaku also quickly reacted and said in a deep voice, you mean to take away the other half of the treasure map from Chen Mu's hand? Yes, as long as we can snatch the other half of the treasure map from Chen Mu, we can go to find the treasure of the evil ghost pirates. When the time comes, we will be 82 points. 117 operations of Marine Admiral Garp, 82 points? The benefits I get are too little, right? Hearing this, Ochaku immediately became unhappy. Silver Axe frowned slightly and said coldly, hey, Ochaku, you bastard, don't be too greedy, 82 points is already a lot. You know, the evil ghost pirates are a big pirate group that has ruled over an era. What they leave behind, even if they only share 10%, is still a huge amount. Silver Axe has made a big concession, say 82 points. 7-3. Ochaku didn't talk nonsense and said bluntly. Impossible. Silver Axe slammed the table and growled. Hey, Silver Axe, you have no choice now. You and I must know Chen Mu's strength very well. Now you can only join forces with me. If Chen Mu comes to you, you won't get a penny, Ochaku said calmly and slowly. You bastard. Silver Axe naturally knew his current situation, but Ochaku wanted too much. He needs to calm down and think carefully about the pros and cons. The two just sat in the house like this, and neither of them spoke. After contemplating for a long time, Silver Axe made some concessions and said in a deep voice, the jewels are 7-3 points, but all the devil fruits in the treasure are mine. No problem, Ochaku agreed. Jules got 3 points, that's enough. After all, it wasn't the half piece of the ghost pirate Danzo treasure map he found that could get this thing. He is very satisfied. The two have already negotiated the share of the proceeds, and now it's time to discuss how to snatch the other half of the treasure map from Chen Mu. Next, what are you going to do? Go to New World to find Chen Mu? Silver Axe asked. No, just inform Chen Mu and let him come to our side. I have already deployed enough troops on this island. Silver Axe shook his head slightly and grinned. After hearing what Silver Axe said, Ochaku couldn't help but retort. A group of ordinary pirates is almost no threat to Chen Mu. No, in order to deal with Chen Mu, I have prepared more than these. I bought some seastone bullets and weapons in bulk in New World. As long as the bullets can be driven into Chen Mu's body, his strength will drop significantly. Chen Mu has various special abilities, although Silver Axe doesn't know what kind of devil fruit Chen Mu ate. But, he is very sure, Chen Mu must be demon fruit power. As for demon fruit power, the most feared thing is the sea. And seastone is also the nemesis of devil fruit. After hearing this, Ochaku smiled slightly and said, it seems that the treasure of the devil pirates is already in our pocket. Of course. No matter what strength Chen Mu possesses, we will win this battle. Naval Headquarters, Marine Variety inside Marshal Marine's office. Kong stared at the newspaper on the table and said solemnly, Chen Mu. Has he gone to sea again? I thought that Chen Mu would always retreat after the Battle of the Valley of the Gods, but I didn't expect. Just 1 year later, he reappeared in the sea. Crane rested his chin on his hands, said solemnly. John's death is good news for our Marine, but it is also worse news. Sengoku said with a slight headache. The good news is that a great pirate died in New World. The bad news is, Chen Mu is back. The trauma left by Chen Mu in the Valley of the Gods has probably recovered. This is really a catastrophe for our Marine. Zephyr looked at his severed arm with an extremely serious expression. As his voice fell, the entire office fell into long-term contemplation. Chen Mu's battle in the Valley of the Gods was nothing short of eye-catching. Not only crippled Zephyr's arm, but also defeated Kong. If it wasn't for the fact that when Kong sank into the ocean, he still had a little bit of energy. Otherwise, he will perish in the Valley of the Gods. However, Chen Mu's current strength is at most back to the peak of the Valley of the Gods, and now he is not invincible. Garp put down the snacks in his hand, and said with a serious expression. Garp is right. Chen Mu has probably been recovering from the wounds left by his body in the past year. It is impossible for his strength to improve. The strength he has now is at most the peak of the Valley of Gods. If so, there is still a chance to kill Chen Mu again. Sengoku echoed. Zero looking for flowers. After the Battle of the Valley of the Gods, Garp and Sengoku became admiral. And the strength they possessed after this year's experience and growth can indeed be called Marine Admiral. To talk about why, Marine Marshal Vikro personally trained them for several years before, and they had not yet reached the admiral level during the Valley of the Gods. That's because, in those few years, he had been training almost every day and lacked experience, so the increase in strength was not very big, too. But this year, Garp, Sengoku and Zephyr are in the New World for real, fighting against countless strong players. After gaining experience, their strength has also grown by leaps and bounds. After he pondered for a moment, he glanced at several people in the office and reminded, I think that while Chen Mu is just recovering from his injury, we should track down Chen Mu in New World. If necessary, you can launch a Buster Call to Chen Mu. Buster Call is a brutal and inhumane incineration attack consisting of 10 ships and an elite force of 5 vice admirals and marines. To deal with Chen Mu, these forces alone may not be enough, they will send Garp again, or Sengoku will go there himself. If that's the case, I'll go to New World myself to track down Chen Mu's trail. Garp stood up and volunteered. Kong nodded and said, thank you, Garp. Don't worry, leave Chen Mu to me. Garp grinned. New World, a certain sea area. Chen Mu was on the boat, opened the frog's room again, and took a rough look. During this year, he has collected 13 devil fruits, and there are only 2 devil fruits left before he can exchange for an ability promotion card. But these 2 devil fruits are hard to find. Just when Chen Mu was thinking about where to find devil fruit, the phone he had left on the boat rang. 118 Silver Axe's plan. Blue brew. Blue, brew. F, YF2F, blue, blue. The sound of the phone bug kept echoing in Chen Mu's ears. Chen Mu turned around, picked up the phone and answered it. Hello? I believe you still remember me, Chen Mu. Silver Axe's voice sounded from the other side of the phone bug. Hearing this familiar voice, Chen Mu naturally knew that the person opposite was Silver Axe. But Chen Mu didn't expect that Silver Axe would take the initiative to call him. You know, Chen Mu now has the idea of pursuing Silver Axe in New World. And the other party also called him at this time, which inevitably made him feel a little surprised. I have the other half of the treasure map of the evil ghost pirates in my hand. Do you want to talk about Chen Mu? 043, Silver Axe continued. Oh, what a surprise, Silver Axe. Ha ha ha. We all want to get the treasure of the devil pirates, don't we? Hearing Silver Axe's reply, Chen Mu said flatly, "No, there is one thing you said wrong, Silver Axe, it's me, not us. The option of negotiating conditions is established when both parties are on equal footing." But Chen Mu didn't pay attention to the strength of Silver Axe at all. Naturally, there is no need to negotiate terms with him. Silver Axe's complexion darkened, and he said coldly, "You are too greedy, Chen Mu. Did you stay in the Rocks Regiment for so long for nothing, Silver Axe? Isn't greed a symbol of our Rocks Regiment cadres?" Chen Mu said indifferently. "How about this, Chen Mu? Let's join hands to find the treasure of the ghost pirates, 7-3, you 7 and I 3, how about it?" Silver Axe didn't want to join forces with Chen Mu, and said this, just to lure Chen Mu to come to him, and then the plan can be implemented. Chen Mu glanced at the Silver Axe expression shown in the phone bug, and said calmly, 91 points. You are more greedy than I imagined, Chen Mu. Although Silver Axe knew he would not team up with Chen Mu. But he still felt angry when he heard Chen Mu say 91 points. Anyway, like Chen Mu, he was a cadre of the Rocks Regiment. Didn't Chen Mu take him seriously when he said such a split value? You have to remember, Silver Axe, I can easily snatch the other half of the treasure map from you, and I will give you 10% because of your sincerity to join hands with me. Although Chen Mu has been in the rocks for so many years, he has never had any evidence with Chen Shu. But Chen Mu knew that the strength of Silver Axe was almost the same as that of John. At most he was better than John. He can even kill John easily. The strength of Silver Axe is completely insignificant in his eyes. You bastard! Silver Axe was about to get angry, but in a blink of an eye, his main purpose was to lure Chen Mu to come to him. After suppressing the anger in his heart, Silver Axe said in a deep voice, "In that case, let's make a deal." Oh, hearing that Silver Axe agreed to the split, Chen Mu was a little surprised. "I'm currently at Slowly Island. After you come over, we can proceed to the next step." Silver Axe reported his island. Chen Mu didn't answer in a hurry, but carefully pondered his conversation with Silver Axe, and then said with a smile, "You bastard, you promised so readily, you are not trying to trick me." Hearing Chen Mu's reply, Silver Axe broke out in a cold sweat, and then pretended to be calm and said, "With your strength, do you still worry about such things?" "Almost, it can be arrived within 2 days. Okay." Silver Axe hung up the bug. Then he put his eyes on Ochaku and said, "In these 2 days, let's make more preparations, I think. Chen Mu is already on guard." "I see." Ochaku nodded solemnly. "This time, the treasure map is bound to be snatched from Chen Mu. Even if we don't snatch it away, we have a way out." Silver Axe clenched his fists and said. As his voice fell, a door appeared out of nowhere beside him. From the door, a pirate walked out, and this pirate was the one with the door fruit ability. At that time, even if they fought Chen Mu, they did not grab the treasure map in Chen Mu's hand. They can also use the door fruit ability, jump out of here. The other side. After Chen Mu hung up the phone, he stretched himself. Chen Mu is not an idiot, he already guessed after the conversation, Silver Axe must have a plan. 0. But Chen Mu still didn't take it seriously. Now, with Chen Mu's strength, unless the 5 elders of the world government come in person, otherwise, almost no one in this sea can defeat him. Well, let's make some preparations, Silver Axe. Chen Mu drove the boat and started heading to the island that Silver said. Within 2 days, Chen Mu had arrived at the island mentioned by Silver Axe. On the shore of the island, there are already many pirates with a bounty of over 100 million, waiting for Chen Mu's arrival. However, Silver Axe did not come out to greet him in person. Master Chen Mu, Captain Silver Axe, is waiting for you on the island. Master Chen Mu, let us lead the way for you. As soon as they arrived at the island, the pirates on the shore immediately stepped forward and said respectfully, "Let's go." Chen Mu nodded. "Yes, Mrs. Chen Mu." A few pirates with a bounty of over 100 million walked in front of Chen Mu, leading the way for Chen Mu. Chen Mu crossed his hands in front of his chest and looked around. This island was an isolated island before. Ochaku regards this place as his old lair. There are many grasses and forests around this place, which have not been fully developed. Looking at the perfect 0.8 hiding place around, Chen Mu couldn't help but raise the corner of his mouth and said, "Wouldn't it be a pity not to arrange some killers in this place?" As Chen Mu's voice fell, several pirates standing in front of Chen Mu with a bounty of over 100 million broke out in a cold sweat. Suddenly, dozens of pirates appeared from all directions of Chen Mu, and surrounded Chen Mu and this group of pirates with a bounty of over 100 million. Shot! The leading pirate yelled. Countless guns were aimed at Chen Mu. Bang bang bang. In an instant, countless bullets poured out and shot at Chen Mu. The dense bullets directly blocked Chen Mu's escape route, making him unavoidable. Is it really here? Chen Mu glanced around calmly, facing countless incoming bullets. Chen Mu didn't even bother to use armament hockey at this time. 119 Chen Mu versus Silver Axe Ochaku, dang dang dang. Countless bullets were shot on Chen Mu's body, like cotton, they couldn't do any harm to Chen Mu. The bullets were bounced off the moment they touched Chen Mu. This is the terrible thing about the physique of copper skin and iron bone. The physique of copper skin and iron bones can easily defend against bullets and shells in the early stage. Not to mention, now Chen Mu's physique of copper skin and iron bones has been cultivated to the midterm level. The hardness of the copper skin and iron bone alone can compete with the hardness of the midterm armament hockey. Boom! Suddenly Chen Mu felt a pain in his abdomen, and a bullet shot into Chen Mu's body. Success! Success! A bullet rich in seastone head has been shot into Chen Mu's abdomen. We won. No. I didn't expect that Chen Mu, who is well known in the New World, now falls into our hands for 2 years. Seeing blood oozing from Chen Mu's abdomen, the many C-10 thieves who had been shooting around Chen Mu immediately breathed a sigh of relief and put down their guns. Facing pirates of Chen Mu's level, they are naturally full of fear. But luckily, it's all over. You're so arrogant, Chen Mu. Do you think we can't do anything about your physique? Not far away, Silver Axe and Ochaku walked slowly and appeared in front of Chen Mu. Your physique is similar to that of Charlotte Linlin. We have heard John mention it a long time ago. Do you think we have no countermeasures? Silver Axe threw the special pistol in his hand aside, sneered. This pistol is expensive to make, and the raw material of the bullets is made of seastone with extremely high purity. Even Chen Mu's physique can penetrate it. After all, it is a bullet specially designed for Chen Mu's physique. But, because the cost is extremely expensive, even the Silver Axe can only buy one bullet. Fortunately, Chen Mu didn't cover his body with armament hockey because of his arrogance. The seastone with a purity of nearly 100% had already penetrated into Chen Shu's abdomen. At this time, no matter how strong Chen Mu is, he still cannot display his peak combat power. Ochaku looked at Chen Mu, couldn't help laughing and said, I didn't expect that the battle between us would end before it even started. Looking at the two, Chen Mu calmly spread his hands and said, I said, how dare you let me come to you, so you have already found a helper. If I knew that I could put a bullet into your body so easily, I would kill you alone. Silver Axe looked at Chen Mu, then at Ochaku, and said with a little regret. In order to be on the safe side, he asked Ganji to join forces. But, now it looks like he's won the battle even without Ochaku. No matter how powerful Chen Mu was at his peak, he can't show 100% of his strength now. With Silver Axe alone, he has great confidence in taking down Chen Mu. Hearing this, Ochaku frowned slightly, stared at Silver Axe solemnly and threatened. Hey, Silver Axe, you guy, don't think about breaking the contract, otherwise. I will join hands with Chen Mu now. Don't worry, breaking a contract is not my style. Next, hand over the other half of the treasure map of the ghost pirates, Chen Mu. Are you kidding me, Silver Axe? Isn't it just a bullet shot into the body? Chen Mu said calmly. He is not demon fruit power, so what if a bullet covering seastone is shot into the body? It just made him feel a little bit of pain. Chen Mu didn't understand why both Silver Axe and Ochaku thought the battle was over. Silver Axe sneered and said, don't try to be brave, Chen Mu, with your current state, let alone the two of us teaming up, even if it's just me. I can easily defeat you. Chen Mu at his peak, he naturally didn't think he could compete with him. But in Chen Mu's current state, he doesn't think he will lose. Not to mention, there is another Ochaku who is at the same level as him. With contempt on his face, Ochaku looked directly at Chen Mu and ordered, be obedient and hand over the other half of the evil ghost pirate Donzo's treasure map, Chen Mu. Otherwise. You don't want to leave this island safe and sound today. Your boat was destroyed by my people when you landed on the island. I haven't seen you for a year, but you guys are more interesting than before. With force on Chen Mu's abdomen, he easily forced out the seastone bullet that had been injected into his body. Clatter. The sound of the bullets landing in Chen Mu's body spread to the ears of the people around him. The pirate standing closest to Chen Mu collapsed to the ground in fright. Silver Axe's pupils constricted violently, and he stepped back a few steps, surprised. How? How is it possible? The seastone bullet in Chen Mu's body is extremely pure. No matter how strong Chen Mu is, he shouldn't be able to exert a tenth of his strength at this time. It is even more impossible to expel the bullet in the body from the body. But the scene in front of him made Silver Axe doubt his life. Chen Mu's strength seemed unaffected at all, and he easily forced the bullet out. Ochaku stared at Chen Mu, with cold sweat on his face, and said in disbelief, Demon fruit power, it is impossible not to be affected by seastone, you bastard. They were on the same boat with Chen Mu, and Chen Mu was dubbed a monster. They have long been tired of listening to 557, but, in their eyes, Chen Mu is not a monster. But today, Chen Mu broke what they knew about Chen Mu. As a demon fruit power, it is completely unaffected by seastone. This is not a monster. What is this? You guys are really stupid. When you are my enemy, why don't you investigate me? Who did you hear that I ate devil fruit? While he does have access to various abilities, he doesn't consume devil fruit. All of his abilities come from the myriad realms. Want to say why Chen Mu doesn't eat devil fruit? That's because eating devil fruit, although you can gain a powerful ability again, but it will also expose your weaknesses. Just like now, if it wasn't because Chen Mu hadn't eaten devil fruit. Otherwise now, more or less, there will be huge troubles. Don't be kidding, Chen Mu, you are not demon fruit power, how can you use fat? Silver Axe retorted. They have seen with their own eyes that Chen Mu uses flames and the power of trees in battle. This kind of power, not devil fruit, is impossible to use. Unless Chen Mu is not human. 120 Wood Style, Wooden Golem Jutsu. You won't believe me even if I tell you, Chen Mu said calmly. Ochaku and Silver Axe glanced at each other, then tightly held the weapon in their hands, watching Chen Mu vigilantly. Chen Mu's strength is even more terrifying and mysterious than they imagined. Between them, a battle is inevitable, superior. Silver Axe's expression froze, and he yelled at Chen Mu. As his voice fell, Silver Axe and Ochaku shot at almost the same time. In an instant, the two appeared on Chen Mu's side at the same time. Go to hell, Chen Mu. Silver Axe wields a large axe, while Ochaku wields a broadsword. The two attacked at the same time, slashing towards Chen Mu. Boom! In the next second, at the place where Chen Mu was standing just now, there was a puff of smoke and a big pit appeared. On the other hand, the ground around the big pit has been greatly broken, and it is still spreading. However, Chen Mu had already avoided the attacks of the two and appeared in the distance. Do you just hide, huh? Silver Axe and Ochaku were in the big pit at the same time, stood up, with weapons on their shoulders, looked at Chen Mu and said coldly. Chen Mu smiled lightly. No, I'm just thinking about what moves to use to deal with you. You bastard, don't be arrogant Chen Mu, don't think that you can despise us by killing John. You are just a monster with some special abilities. Ochaku and Silver Axe, hearing Chen Mu's arrogant words, snorted coldly in anger. Well, it really just has some special abilities. Wood Style, Wooden Golem Jutsu. Chen Mu put his palms together, and in the next second, there was a roaring sound under his feet. A huge arhat with a huge body and a wooden dragon on his shoulders appeared in front of the two of them. The huge arhat is full of terrifying aura from top to bottom, which makes people shudder. What is this? Wood, giants made of wood. If it's just a pile of wood, it can be easily destroyed with the strength of Captain Silver Axe and Akoku. That's what you said. You don't need to be afraid, it's just wood after all. Many pirates with a bounty of over 100 million were shocked by the wooden golem's aura when they saw the wooden golem's appearance for the first time. They breathed another sigh of relief when they took a closer look and found that this wooden golem was made entirely of wooden golem. After all, it is just wood, and wood is under the axe and the blade, and it is free to be slaughtered. Wooden golem again. I remember when our Rocks regiment attacked the G1 base, you used this trick. Silver Axe and John stared at Chen's bed solemnly. Although they knew very well that this huge arhat was only made of a pile of wood. But the two of them didn't dare to doubt his power at all. Because Sengoku, one of the 3 stars of naval headquarters, was defeated by Chen Mu's ability. It's been a long time since I've used this ability, so I'll take the two of you today. Chen Mu stood on top of the wooden golem arhat, folded his hands on his chest, and said flatly. Following Chen Mu's voice, the wooden arhat rushed towards the two of them. Although the wooden arhat is huge in size and strong in stature, his speed is not slow. Boom boom boom. There was a sound of vibration on the ground, but in the blink of an eye, the wooden arhat appeared in front of Silver Axe and Akoku. Wooden arhat swung his fists directly, hitting Silver Axe and Akoku. Silver Axe and Akoku, with high-level armament hockey wrapped around their arms and weapons, jumped up and attacked the wooden arhat's fist. Boom. The moment the 3 of them attacked and collided, a semicircular white aura centered on the 3 of them quickly spread towards the surroundings, sweeping in all directions like a violent storm. The many pirates who had been watching the battle tens of meters away from the 3 of them, who were offering bounties of hundreds of millions, were directly blown away by this air current. Like flowers swaying in a strong wind, they flew high into the sky, unable to control their bodies. Clap clap. Many pirates with a bounty of over 100 million were directly thrown out, fighting one after another with a distance of 100 meters. Good. So strong. This wooden arhat. Can you fight against Silver Axe Captain Akoku at the same time? I remember that in this sea, there was a legend that Chen Mu is the strongest pirate in the New World other than Rocks. It turns out that this is not a rumor. This guy, could it be, is it invincible? Although the outcome between the 3 has not yet been determined. However, seeing the situation at the scene, many pirates watching the battle became nervous. Because they have begun to recall the legend of Chen Mu in this sea. On the battlefield, Chen Mu manipulated the wooden arhat, swung his fists, and had countless collisions with Silver Axe Akoku. The wooden arhat has a huge body, has extremely strong and terrifying destructive power, and is very agile. Even facing 2 big pirates at the same time, under Chen Mu's control, they can fight with ease. And after a period of fighting, the entire isolated island, trees, buildings, and jungles in areas with a radius of several hundred meters. All of them became wreckage everywhere during the battle between the 3 of them. I believe that after a while, the entire island will be destroyed by them. Backquote, it's time for some intensity. Quote. Chen Mu wraps high-grade armament hockey on the arm of the wooden arhat, so as to greatly improve the attack power and defense power of the fist. Although it is very exhausting to do so, don't forget that Chen Mu's physical strength is as deep as the sea. Because 8 inner gates has trained to 7th gate, his body is equivalent to being reborn 7 times. Coupled with the mid-term physique of copper skin and iron bones, and the time when he obtained the ability from the world. His body. Has improved a little bit, after all, it's equivalent to inheriting something. In other words, what Chen Mu is most proud of is the physical strength converted from his physique. The current him, unless he uses wood-style true several thousand hands repeatedly. Otherwise, even if he fights for 10 days and 10 nights, his physical strength will not be exhausted. With a thought, Chen Mu manipulated the wooden arhat's fist to accumulate strength, and then punched out with all his strength. Fist head on against Silver Axe and Akoku. Boom. But in the next second, Silver Axe and John's body flew backward for tens of meters at the same time. Along the way, a long chasm was drawn on the ground level, and finally it directly smashed into a piece of ruins, kicking up a piece of flying sand, which was covered by gravel. After the wooden arhat is wrapped around armament hockey, its power has been directly upgraded to a higher level. As for Silver Axe and Akoku, he has not yet adapted to the attack power of wood arhat. So, was directly sent flying. The power is not bad. Chen Mu looked at the smoke and dust that was still lingering in the distance, and couldn't help but clicked his tongue in praise. 121 Silver Axe and Akoku at full strength. Hit. It flew. How? How is it possible? Captain Silver Axe, unexpectedly, was directly sent flying. This guy is really a demon. At the same time, he fought against Silver Axe Captain Akoku. Not only did he not fall into a disadvantage, but he was easily beaten into the air. Let's run. Run away, or wait until the 2 of them are killed, then, it will be our turn. After witnessing Chen Mu's strength, the many pirates who watched felt terrified, and already had the idea of running away. After all, even the teaming up of the 2 famous big pirates in New World is not Chen Mu's opponent. Although they offer a bounty of hundreds of millions of Baileys, but, in the eyes of Chen Mu, they are not even miscellaneous soldiers. Crash. Among the ruins, there was a crisp sound. Silver Axe and Akoku pushed the gravel above their heads, and stood out from it. Chen Mu was really difficult to deal with. Silver Axe picked up the big axe from the ruins and said in a deep voice. After hearing this, Akoku smiled and said, however, it's not impossible to win. Oh, do you have a way to defeat him? You have also seen that the huge wooden golem released by Chen Mu is very large. The bigger the thing, the more it consumes 990 after being wrapped around the armament hockey. Chen Mu's armament hockey has not yet reached the top level, so the load on his body is not small. We just need to pull and wait until his physical strength is completely exhausted. Akoku said his plan. It is almost impossible to defeat Chen Mu head-on with the strength of the 2 of them. Because the 2 of them have clearly felt just now, just how terrifying the wooden golem's power is. Silver Axe frowned slightly, resting his chin on his hand and meditating. In other words, the next battle will be more about avoiding Chen Mu's attack, rather than actively attacking. Yes, there are 2 of us after all, and Chen Mu only has 1, and his physical strength will always be exhausted. Akoku nodded. After discussing for a while, the 2 decided to implement this bad plan to exhaust Chen Mu's physical strength. After discussing the plan, the 2 left the ruins and rushed towards Chen Mu. Bang bang. Chen Mu looked at the 2 of them, and manipulated the wooden arhat to smash towards Silver Axe and Akoku quickly. But now they didn't choose to use brute force to meet wooden golem Luohan's fist head-on. Instead, he just ran away. Since the 2 went back and forth like this, they occasionally clashed head-on with wooden golem's fist. But, more is to let Chen Mu manipulate the wooden arhats to attack, and they dodge, so that the consumption of the body is minimal. After a long time, the faces of Silver Axe and Akoku were already sweating from exhaustion. And Chen Mu still stood leisurely and contentedly on top of wooden golem arhat, showing no trace of fatigue. Akoku stared at Chen Mu with both eyes, and couldn't help complaining. This guy, what is his body made of? You know, wooden golem's arm like a towering ancient tree is always wrapped around armament hockey. It is conceivable that the consumption is huge. But, after this battle, they felt that they had consumed a lot of physical strength just to avoid Chen Mu's attack. And Chen Mu, using armament hockey on such a large scale, his current physical strength is almost at its peak. Silver Axe stared at Akoku with a ferocious expression and growled, "Hey, Akoku, your plan won't work at all." He wants to win after completely exhausting Chen Mu's physical strength. This kind of thinking has been shattered after fighting Chen Mu for a long time. Because they have already seen that Chen Mu's physical strength is like a bottomless abyss, and there is no way to see the moment when he is exhausted. Akoku looked extremely serious, staring at Silver Axe and said seriously, "If that's the case, then don't keep your own strength, Silver Axe." "What are you bastard talking about? I've been fighting with all my strength." Silver Axe frowned slightly, and roared. "Don't be kidding, Silver Axe, your strength is more than that." I advise you not to keep your strength, otherwise neither of us will be able to find the treasure map of the evil ghost pirates. Akoku is well aware that Silver Axe hasn't used its full strength yet. Of course, so did he. If you want to talk about why you want to keep your own strength, it's because neither of them fully convinced the other. Just wait for the other half of the treasure map of the devil pirates from Chen Mu, and then have another battle. Whoever wins will get the treasure map. But now, they no longer need to hide their strength. Because doing so, it is impossible to defeat Chen Mu. Because in this sea, Chen Mu, the monster second only to the rocks, can they defeat with their strength. Silver Axe snorted coldly and did not speak, but instead looked more gloomily at Chen Mu. His aura gradually rose, and he no longer suppressed his own strength. He needed to fight with all his strength. Likewise, Akoku, too, no longer retains his strength. Chen Mu stood on top of the wooden arhat, maintaining a calm state all the time, and said indifferently, I wanted to say how long you want to play, but now it seems that the battle has officially begun. Chen Mu naturally knew that as the great pirates of New World, Silver Axe and John would not be so weak. Since Silver Axe and John didn't use their full strength and wanted to play, he naturally had to cooperate. Stop being arrogant, Chen Mu. You don't think the two of us teamed up are your opponents, do you? Silver Axe snorted coldly. Stop talking nonsense to him, Silver Axe, get rid of him quickly. You don't need to tell me, I know it too. A large amount of armament hockey is wrapped around Silver Axe's arms and axe. At this time, his axe was like possessed by a demon god, exuding a chilling aura. Likewise, Akoku's broadsword, superior. Silver Axe let out a low growl. Akoku and Silver Axe attacked Chen Mu again. Boom. Chen Mu manipulated the wooden arhat wrapped around armament hockey and threw it at the two of them again. Accompanied by the huge rumbling sound in the battlefield, Silver Axe and Akoku could have been easily knocked out by the wooden arhat. After using all their strength, the strength of the wooden arhat is not enough to move them backwards. 122 The Hell of the Flame Dragon King. Ka ka ka. With a crisp sound, you can see the wooden arhat manipulated by Chen Mu. Countless cracks appeared, only the arm wrapped around armament hockey, and the fist were not torn apart by the power of Silver Axe and Akoku. Ha ha ha. You are really vulnerable, Chen Mu. Seeing this scene, Silver Axe laughed ferociously. The defensive power of wooden arhat is indeed terrible, but, under the double offensive of Silver Axe and Akoku, no matter how strong the defense is, it is useless. Seeing the wooden arhat covered with cracks, Chen Mu couldn't help but click his tongue and said, the strength of the two of you has really improved a lot. When Silver Axe and Akoku fight with all their strength, they are stronger than John. Even Chen Mu, facing these two people at the same time, felt a lot of pressure. In the final analysis, these two people are not small characters after all. Snapped. A voice resounded throughout the battlefield, and the wooden arhat was completely overwhelmed by Silver Axe and his upright strength. In the end, all that was left was a pile of wooden stumps scattered on the ground. Wood arhat is destroyed. Chen Mu lost. I knew it was impossible to lose to him with the strength of Silver Axe and Akoku. Since that's the case, there's no need for us to run away. After all, our side is going to win. Even though Chen Mu's strength in New World is only inferior to Rock's, but, now it seems that the combination of Captain Silver Axe and the main weight is even stronger. The pirate who was watching the battle immediately felt relieved when he saw the scene in front of him. They had already planned to escape, but after seeing the wooden arhat released by Chen Mu was destroyed. They cancelled this direction, after all, they were not defeated. On the battlefield, Silver Axe stared at the corner of Chen Mu's mouth and laughed loudly, ha ha ha. It seems that the victory between us can be declared over again, Chen Mu. Although Chen Mu's physique is somewhat special, even seastone bullets can't help him. But, now the wooden arhat released by Chen Mu has been completely destroyed by them. This gave both Silver Axe and Akoku great confidence. Sure enough, when the two of them teamed up and tried their best, even Chen Mu could defeat it. Now, obediently hand over the other half of the treasure map of the devil pirates, we can let you live, otherwise, don't blame us for erasing you here. Akoku stared at Chen Mu coldly threatened. Seeing the arrogant expressions of the two, Chen Mu couldn't help shrugging and laughing. It's just smashing the wooden golem, the battle isn't over yet. To say, why Silver Axe and Akoku can smash his wooden arhat. It was entirely because Chen Mu released the water. With Chen Mu's physical strength, he could completely restore the wooden arhat before it was destroyed. But, the reason why he didn't restore it, but let the two of them be smashed. That's because Chen Mu felt that he needed another ability to defeat the two of them. If you have any other tricks, just use them, Chen Mu, but, don't blame us for not reminding you, this is your last chance to hand over the treasure map. Well, let me also remind you, now give me the other half of the treasure map, and I can let you go. Hearing Chen Mu's words, Silver Axe and Akoku's complexion suddenly turned grim, and the anger in their hearts became even stronger. Arrogance. It seems that today, you are destined to be eliminated by us. The two no longer had too many unnecessary discussions with Chen Mu, and quickly held their weapons, and attacked Chen Mu again. Flame Dragon King Mode. Chen Mu slapped lightly, and the aura on his body changed completely. Chen Mu's fire dragon slaying magic has been cultivated to an advanced level, and he can enter a stronger state at will. The purgatory of the Flame Dragon King. Accompanied by Chen Mu's light slap, in the next second, a raging sea of flames suddenly appeared in front of Chen Mu. The temperature of the flame was even higher than that of the magma. The moment the temperature appeared, the entire island was destroyed and the fallen trees were directly burned into ashes. And this flame, in an instant, completely devoured Silver Axe and Akoku. Fire. Flame. Chen Mu can still use the power of fire. And it's so powerful. Zero looking for flowers. Silver. Captain Axe and Akoku are dead already. Many pirates saw the extremely hot sea of flames in front of them and felt the temperature of the surrounding air. Everyone was sweating hotly, as if they were in the sea of flames. Although, they know that the strength of Silver Axe and Akoku is terrible. But, in the midst of thousands of degrees of flames, they still couldn't help worrying. Before, the temperature in front is estimated to have reached thousands of degrees. Let's leave here quickly, or if the temperature of this island rises again, we will die here too. Don't look, Silver. Captain Silver Axe is probably burned to ashes. They can't defeat this monster Chen Mu. 0.0. People can't compete with the devil. If we continue to stay here, we will die too. Many pirates watching the battle, it is not clear whether Silver Axe and Akoku are dead or not. But, they can't control that much, although Silver Axe is their captain, but, they think life is the most important thing. Many pirates left the place directly and rushed towards the shore, wanting to leave this place of right and wrong. And there are only a few more sincere pirates left, still staying where they are. In that blazing heat, as if they were in a sea of magma, Silver Axe and Akoku were covered in hot sweat. Even though they wrapped the armament haki all over their bodies, they still felt the terrible high temperature, as if they were going to evaporate them. When Silver Axe suddenly threw away the big axe in his hand, because the temperature was too high, holding the big axe in his hand was like putting his palm in hot magma. When Akoku did the same, dropping the weapon in his hand. Silver Axe growled ferociously. Damn it, I almost forgot, Chen Mu bastard, not only has the ability to manipulate trees. With both hands behind his back, Chen Mu strolled over, glanced at the two with a smile on their faces, and asked, is it very hot, do you want to cool you down? 123 battle ends, Silver Axe Akoku loses. As Chen Mu's voice fell, the flames that put Silver Axe and Akoku in contact with the magma quickly disappeared. It was replaced by cold air, a cold air that penetrated deep into the bone marrow and made people feel chilling. With Chen Mu as the center, the terrible cold air spread rapidly to the surroundings, and the cold air directly froze the area within hundreds of meters. The terrible cold directly froze Silver Axe and Akoku into ice sculptures. It is well known that the higher the temperature, the larger the pores in the human body open. The high temperature of thousands of degrees Celsius just now made the pores in the bodies of Silver Axe and the king's face open to the maximum. Now use the power of the devil's essence, even if Silver Axe and Akoku are wrapped in thick armament haki. But, still can't stop it, the cold enters the body. The terrible cold air froze the two of them firmly, no matter how they struggled to break free, they couldn't get rid of the cold air in their bodies. 450. Chen Mu breathed out a breath of cold air, and walked towards the two of them. It's over, it's over, it's over, Captain Yinyan and Shuji are not his opponents at all. Hurry. Run, this guy is invincible. Hurry up. Get out of here, or we will die here too. We are just human beings, if we confront this monster, there is no chance of winning at all. The rest of the heartfelt pirates, seeing that Silver Axe and Akoku were completely defeated, quickly left the place without the slightest hesitation. Although they are very sincere, but they don't want to die. Snapped. Chen Mu exerted a little force with his fist, shattering the ice that had frozen Silver Axe, and kicked his weapon to the side. Then pinched Silver Axe's neck and said coldly, where is the other half of the treasure map? Silver Axe, who was strangled by the neck, had an extremely ferocious face. Although he wanted to resist, the cold still eroded his body, making his movements somewhat inconvenient. Even in his heyday, it is impossible for him to defeat Chen Mu, let alone in this situation now. Silver Axe didn't dare to resist, and with trembling hands, he took out the treasure map from his pocket and handed it to Chen Mu. This is the other half. After receiving half of the treasure map from Silver Axe, Chen Mu threw Silver Axe aside with a slight force on his arm as if throwing garbage. Then he took out the other half of the treasure map from his bosom, combined the two treasure maps into one, and carefully figured it out. While Chen Mu was studying the treasure map carefully, a door appeared behind Silver Axe, and a man walked out from the door. This man is the door fruit ability user. Captain Silver Axe, go. The moment the man appeared, Silver Axe quickly entered with Akoku, who had been frozen into an ice sculpture, and disappeared into the door that appeared out of thin air. Caw caw caw. Just when the man wanted to enter the door, a gust of cold air hit his body, freezing his legs and feet, his pupils constricted violently, and he glanced at Chen Mu behind him in disbelief. Seeing that his whole body was going to be frozen, the man knew that his time was approaching, so he closed the door, and he was also frozen into an ice cube. Run away. Chen Mu stared at the man frozen into an ice sculpture in front of him, and said calmly. He only set his eyes on the treasure map for a second, and Silver Axe and Akoku had already escaped. However, there was still one left. Boom. In the next second, a mass of thousands of degrees Celsius high-temperature flames arose from under the man's feet, directly vaporizing it. Chen Mu looked around, and didn't choose to chase Silver Axe and Akoku, because he didn't know where the door was leading to. Going after him is just a waste of time. Anyway, the outcome between them is based on points, and he also got what he wanted. Silver Axe and Akoku, these two people, in the entire new world, he can completely ignore. Chen Mu continued to focus on the treasure map in his hand, wanting to continue to figure out where the treasure on the treasure map is. Within a few days, the news of Chen Mu's battle with Silver Axe Akoku spread throughout the new world. Silver Axe and Akoku, all of them are terrible cadres of the Rocks Regiment, and they are extremely powerful. Even Naval Headquarters is unwilling to provoke such a character easily. But, in just 1 week, Chen Mu had conflicts with 3 cadres of the Rocks Regiment. Kill John, defeat Akoku and Silver Axe. This record made the whole world in an uproar. They don't know why Chen Mu shot these 3 people in a short period of time. Could it be that they want to bloodbath the cadres of the entire Rocks Regiment? Just when many strong men in the sea fell into deep thought. Silver Axe and Akoku broke the news. Chen Mu actually collected the complete treasure map of the Ghost Pirates. You know, the Devil Pirates were the strongest in the era before the Rocks. One can imagine how rich the treasures left by Wen and other terrifying pirates are. With Silver Axe and Akoku releasing this news, the eyes of the world are once again focused on Chen Mu. Naval Headquarters, Marine Variety. Inside Marine Marshal Kong's office. Kong sat on the chair, solemnly staring at the newspaper on the table and said in a deep voice, Chen Mu, this guy is going to trouble John, Silver Axe, and Akoku in order to get the treasure left by the evil ghost pirates. Crane pondered for a long time, looked at the people around him, and said worriedly, at the same time, I fought against Silver Axe Akoku, not only did I not lose, but I also snatched the treasure map of the Devil Pirates from both of them. Is it possible that the guy is stronger than he was a year ago? Didn't Chen Mu have been recovering from his injuries for the past year? It stands to reason, it's impossible for him to improve his strength. Zephyr expressed his opinion with the same heavy expression on his face. Sengoku picked up the cup on the table, took a sip of the tea, and said with a serious expression, 5.4 But there is no doubt that Chen Mu can defeat the combination of Silver Axe and Akoku at the same time, that is to say at the very least, his current strength is stronger than that of the Valley of Gods. Hearing Sengoku's words, the entire conference room fell into deep thought. Chen Mu's strength is the object that makes them fear the most. I thought that after a year of recuperation, Chen Mu's strength had already declined. But, judging from Chen Mu's recent battle situation, not only has Chen Mu's strength not declined, but may even become stronger. It seems that Garp needs to be notified. Based on his own words, even if Chen Mu is found in New World, it will be difficult to compete with him. It seems that the plan for Chen Mu needs to be more cautious. 124 Chen Mu offers a bounty of 4.25 billion. Now Garp has gone to New World alone, following the trail of Chen Mu. But, they are worried that with Garp's character, if they really meet Chen Mu in New World, they might directly attack him instead of waiting for support. Judging from Chen Mu's record this week, if Garp really challenges Chen Mu alone, very likely to be taken down. Kong took a deep breath, leaned his whole body on the sofa and sighed, Chen Mu, this guy really gives me a headache. After hearing Kong's words, Sengoku, Zephyr, and Crane also have a deep understanding. In New World, there are many vicious and terrifying pirates. Such as Golden Lion, Whitebeard, Charlotte Linlin, Kaido, Silver Axe, Akoku, Burndy Wald, Roger, Rayleigh, Jabba et al. This group of people all have the strength of a big pirate, even a legendary pirate. But, this group of people, at least in New World, is considered to be a relatively quiet kind. And Chen Mu is different. Chen Mu is completely a troublemaker in the eyes of their marine. Any news about Chen Mu would make their marines panic for a while. 10. New World, a certain island. Golden Lion sat in the hall, carefully watching the newspaper in his hand. Gee ha ha ha, have you collected the treasure map of the ghost pirates, Chen Mu? After seeing the content in the newspaper, Golden Lion immediately gathered together. Only after Golden Lion left the Rocks Regiment did he realize how expensive it is to cultivate a fleet. The current Golden Lion, although the flying pirates have already been established. But, now his desire for money has not only not decreased, but increased. Because Golden Lion knows very well that as long as the money is more, then, he can build more pirate battleships. The treasure map of the Devil Pirates, Golden Lion is naturally full of interest. Hey, hurry up and prepare the boat, I want to leave by myself. Golden Lion threw aside the newspaper in his hand, and then ordered his subordinates. Chen Mu holds the treasure map of the Devil Pirates in his hand, so naturally he wants to share in it. New World, Roger Pirates. At this moment, Roger, Rayleigh, and Jabba are staring at a reward order. Chen Mu has already offered a bounty. 4.25 billion Baileys. Rayleigh stared at the bounty in his hand and couldn't help but gasped. A week ago, Chen Mu's bounty was only 3.45 billion Baileys, but only a week has passed. Chen Mu's bounty has reached a staggering 4.2 billion Baileys. A full increase of 800 million Baileys. This astonishing increase surprised even the three of them. Rayleigh couldn't help but clicked his tongue and sighed. It's 1.75 billion Baileys more than me. Roger's current bounty is only 2.5 billion Baileys. However, Roger's bounty increase is already very exaggerated. You must know that before the Valley of the Gods started a year ago, his bounty was only 1.6 billion Baileys. I believe that Chen Mu's bounty will surpass that of his former Captain Rox in a few years. Rayleigh put his chin on his hand and said seriously. The Rox bounty is a staggering 4.7 billion Baileys. But, Rox has already fallen in the Battle of the Valley of the Gods, and his bounty has been fixed at 4.7 billion Baileys. As for Chen Mu, the bounty of 4.7 billion is only 450 million Baileys away. However, if Rox is still alive after the Battle of the Valley of the Gods, he will kill Marshal Marine, Marine Admiral, and plan to attack the Valley of the Gods. I believe that the bounty of Rox will exceed 6 billion Baileys. But, Rox finally fell in the Valley of the Gods. Jabba put his eyes on Roger and asked. But Roger, Chen Mu found the treasure map left by the evil ghost pirates. Shall we join in the fun? Want to join in the fun? I think it's better to forget it. Let's not say that we don't know the location of Chen Mu now, and, even if we find Chen Mu, it will be difficult for us to snatch the treasure map from him. Roger shook his head slightly. Roger has a deep understanding of his own strength, knowing that with his current strength, he still cannot defeat Chen Mu. So, he didn't have the idea of joining in the fun. Roger, although I don't agree with joining in the fun this time, but, don't underestimate the combat power of our Roger pirates. Even if we meet Chen Mu, we won't necessarily lose. Interjected Rayleigh. Roger, Rayleigh, and Jabba, the three of them have terrible combat power. Coupled with the other masters on board, Rayleigh didn't think they would lose if they really faced Chen Mu. Maybe. Roger didn't agree with this sentence, but, didn't disagree with it either. Jabba glanced at the two of them and reminded. However, since we are also in the new world like Chen Mu, that means, we will have conflicts sooner or later. That's right, you can't let the training go to waste during this time. Roger laughed. 377 inches of course. Although New World is said to have an extremely wide area, this does not mean that their Roger pirates will never meet Chen Mu in New World. They have no friendship with Chen Mu, so if they meet, it will only be a result of fighting. New World, Slowly Island. This island was the former general base of Silver Axe, but after Silver Axe was defeated by Chen Mu, all the pirates on the island left this place without stopping, fearing that they would be found by Chen Mu and their lives would be strangled. After several days of careful research, Chen Mu finally determined where the location marked on the treasure map was. Chen Mu stretched, put away the treasure map, and then set his sights on the huge island. The scope of this island is extremely wide, and Chen Mu has not visited this island carefully. Chen Mu thought about it for a while, and said to himself, look at the island, what is there? After all, this island is also the one occupied by Silver Axe, and something is sure to be left behind. Chen Mu walked around the entire island, and finally managed to find some treasure chests in an underground room. Chen Mu opened one of the treasures, and there was a fruit with strange textures in it. 125 successful promotion, top armed color. Oh, unexpectedly, Silver Axe also has devil fruit in stock. Looking at the devil fruit in the treasure box, Chen Mu smiled. Then look at the other treasure boxes. There are 4 treasure boxes here, and if nothing else, there are 4 devil fruits inside. He has collected 12 devil fruits in this year, only 3 devil fruits short. And here, there are exactly 4, that is to say, he can exchange for an ability promotion card today. Chen Mu quickly opened all the treasure boxes and put away the 4 devil fruits. Finally got 15 pieces together. Looking at the devil fruit in the frog room, Chen Mu couldn't help sighing. Chen Mu quickly opened the virtual panel and clicked on them all. Buy. Ability promotion card. Ding, does the host want to buy the ability card with 15 devil fruits? Sure. Chen Mu confirmed without the slightest hesitation. Ding, congratulations host, you got the ability promotion card X1. As the system beeped, Chen Mu opened his property panel. Host. Chen Mu. Abilities. Armament Hockey Advanced, Observation Hockey Advanced, Conqueror's Hockey Apex. Physique. Copper-skinned iron bone physique is in the middle stage. Special abilities. 8 Inner Gates, 7th Gate, Fire Dragon Slayer Magic Advanced, Wood Style Middle Stage, Immortal Art Middle Stage, Devil's Essence Early Stage. Only when Conqueror's Hockey is promoted to the top level, can Chen Mu use the ability promotion card to promote special abilities. So, now, the only options left for Chen Mu are Armed Color and Knowledge Color. Because conquerors reached the top a year ago. After careful consideration for a long time, Chen Mu still chose to be promoted to armament hockey. Compared with improving insight, and having the ability to predict the future in a short time, Chen Mu prefers to improve his comprehensive strength in a simple way. Promote armament hockey. Chen Mu used an ability promotion card. Ding, congratulations host, armed with color to reach the top. As the system's voice fell, Chen Mu clearly felt a special force pouring into his body. He can feel that armament hockey is very different from before. Although he has practiced armament hockey for so many years, his armament hockey level is infinitely close to the top. But there was always a step missing, and the gap of this step was completely different. Chen Mu can feel that now armament hockey is at the top level. Whether it is attack power or defense power, it has been improved several times compared to before. Moreover, when armament hockey is upgraded to the full level, it not only has the power of external release, but also the power of internal destruction. No matter how high the defense is, wrapping the top armament hockey can directly destroy from the inside. Try the power. Chen Mu looked under his arm, and in the next second wrapped a black and red armament hockey around his arm. After wrapping his arms around the armed color, Chen Mu felt a steady stream of reminders from his arms conveying terrifying power to his body. Then Chen Mu put his gaze on the ground below him. Boom. Accompanied by a loud noise, a large pit instantly appeared in the area centered on Chen Mu. Moreover, around the big pit, there were one after another hideous big cracks, and a thick smoke was raised at the scene. Sure enough, power is more useful than I imagined. Looking at the big hole under him, Chen Mu put his eyes on the arms wrapped around the arm, and couldn't help but praise. For this punch, Chen Mu didn't use his full strength, and he only used armament hockey's power. That it can wreak such horrific destruction is a testament to the power of the top armament hockey. It is really the best choice to upgrade the armed color. Chen Mu glanced around, and then put all the billions of Bailey's jewels in the treasure house into the frog's room. Naturally, these things should not be in vain. After doing all this, Chen Mu left the island. After all, after studying for a few days, I have thoroughly studied the route and the route map of the final goal. Now he can start to search for the treasure of the ghost pirates. But in fact, Chen Mu is not particularly interested in things like treasures. The only thing he is interested in is devil fruit. And Chen Mu believes that the devil pirates will definitely leave a lot of devil fruit. Because of this, he will have an idea about the treasure of the ghost pirates. New World, an island. Silver Axe and Akoku who escaped are currently in Akoku's base camp, recuperating their bodies. Although the two of them survived from Chen Mu's hands, they also suffered a lot of injuries. It has been recovering for several days now, but it is still not fully recovered. At this moment, Silver Axe and Akoku are sitting in a room, discussing something. We have released the news that Chen Mu possesses the treasure map of the evil ghost pirate Danzo, and now the eyes of the whole world are on Chen Mu. This time must be the end of Chen Mu. Silver Axe hung on his face said with a ferocious smile. Chen Mu holds the treasure map message of all the treasures of the evil ghost pirates, and they have released it. Silver Axe is sure, the big pirate from New World will definitely trouble Chen Da. And with Chen Mu's character, he definitely won't hand it over easily. There will only be one result at that time, and that is to fight. No matter how terrifying Chen Mu's strength is. But in New World, Chen Mu is not the only monster. Charlotte Linlin, Golden Lion, and Roger Pirates all have no friendship with Chen Mu. And, the strength is not weaker than Chen Mu's existence. Akoku sat on the chair, gulped down a bottle of fine wine and said with a smile, I really didn't expect you to come up with such a bad way, Nuo Wang Zhao. After the ghost pirate Donzo's treasure map was robbed, Silver Axe went directly to the news agency and released such a blockbuster. Chen Mu's arrogant character will ruin everything about him. Next, we will see the actions of the New World Roger Pirates, Charlotte Linlin, and Golden Lion. I believe that it won't be long before the news of Chen Mu's death will spread in New World. Silver Axe grinned. If that's the case, we may also have the opportunity to participate in the treasure of the devil pirates. Akoku said, if the big pirates from New World killed Chen Mu, then, these big pirates must have more or less injuries. And the two of them teamed up, can also take this opportunity to snatch the treasure map of the evil ghost pirates. Of course, now we just need to recuperate well, and wait for the other big pirates in New World to bring us good news. Silver Axe nodded.